One two 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 one two. We back at it, man. We back at it. Friday afternoon, February 6th, 2026. Let's go live on Instagram. Let the people know that we are live. Make sure to hit that like button for anybody who's popping up right now. We back at it. We back at it once again. It's about to go down. Big salute to everybody who's popping up in the chat. Make yourself be seen. We are live. Big salute to the people over here on my phone. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to share this across whatever platform that you share it in. Okay. We are live, whatever. Where else are we live? We are live on Twitch and we are live on X, aka Twitter. Let's get into the list of topics that we got going on today. I'm going to do a quick reaction to the new J. Cole Fall Off album. I got a chance to listen to it last night, listen to it again today, and I'll be giving my opinions on it. Also, my Opps dissed me again. Okay, I got many Opps, so we'll deduce or we'll figure out which Opps are trying to diss the boy Friday Ricky Dread. Okay. Also, there's been 7 arrests for the Toronto Police Services and multiple suspensions. We are going to get to it and do an in-depth deep dive into Toronto, or the biggest gang in the world, getting a big bust, getting a taste of their own medicine. So we definitely got to get into that. What else do we got on the list here? 16-year-old shot at the Tim Hortons. Oh, let me just tell you all something quick, okay? We got some hip-hop topics to get to, but from the way that I titled this live over here, I got it titled, and let me just make sure I can check my title here. The biggest gang busted. Okay, so this is going to be a heavy crime live. Okay, so if y'all looking for a bunch of hip-hop, you might not be in the right place today. I'm sorry, but we got a lot of fuckery to get to over here in the scene. All right, what else we got on this on the list over here? Baggage handler caught over at the Pearson Airport. Okay, they've been trying to get a lot of yayo through that airport, and they got somebody. All right, fake money is also on the rise. We definitely got to get into that. And last but not least, as far as in our civic duties as well, the destruction of Little Jamaica, aka Eglinton West. We'll be getting to everything that we got to get into today. For the people on Instagram, we are live on YouTube, youtube.com/we-love-hip-hop network. Mega. Let's get to it, man. Big salute to everybody who's popping up in the chat over here. Let yourselves be seen. Let me see who's out here. Good evening, Tasha Latina. I seen Franklin Frazier in the chat from earlier. Let me give you all some love and put y'all up on the screen. Cal 2075 in the building. 101 G Notes in the building. Easy Fecta in the building. We got a lot of things to get to today. Like I said, man, let me turn on the beat over here, courtesy of B3. Like I said, man, this hip-hop stuff going on, we can cover some of the stuff. We can go do a quick surf through the Torontology Reddit to see what's going on in the hip-hop scene over here. We can go to a couple of blog pages, but I'm not going to lie, bro. There's way more interesting shit going on in the streets than in the actual quote-unquote hip-hop streets. So I'm here to cover all of this shit today, man. This is going to be a crime-riddled live. So big salute to everybody who's popping up in the chat. If you are here for true crime stories, we are here for you. All right, big salute to Surprised Basset Hounds, who's popping up. The Real Ka, is that the Real Ka 3 popping up in the building. Who else is in the building before we get to it? Pyrex been steady working. I'll check on that. Big salute to Pyrex. That's my brother right there. Okay. Quick also note, if you're only going to be seeing one screen for the people who are watching on YouTube today. I'm not doing the vertical screen. We're just doing the classic horizontal screen for this today. So big salute to everybody who's popping up. Let me turn this beat down courtesy of B3. Big salute to B3. That's my brother right there. What's going on, gang? I'm just checking the chat right now, okay? Just checking to see what y'all are saying, checking to see what the temperature's at, okay? Comic Gang strong. We are out here. I am working on a documentary, actually, as we speak. Big salute to Kara, who's just popping up in the building. Yeah, I prefer the classic, too. And I'm not going to lie. Like, I was looking at the numbers after I would do a live, And because there was like a split between the horizontal screen and the vertical screen, I feel like it was kind of fucking up the numbers. So we just doing straight classic. Just to give you guys a little bit of transparency, I do have the vertical screen that's recording privately that I might use later on for clips. But right now, as far as what you all are able to see, you're seeing the classic YouTube screen over here. Is my mic good? Let me make sure everything is crisp. Let me do a quick mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Okay, mic check. It sounded nice. All right. Let's pull up a couple of ads before we get into anything. Oh, before I pull up my ads. Documentary on the way. Hold me to it, gang. I'm trying to do one documentary every month, all the way from now all the way to December. All right. I got a new documentary I just finished doing the writing on. All right. The narration is going to be done tomorrow. Maybe tonight, depends on how long I go live for. But I'm going to be doing a documentary. The next one is From the Streets to the Courtroom. All right. Multiple artists who have been wrapped up in the courtrooms after, criminal activity or alleged criminal activity, and how the Ontario, because we're talking about Ontario and Canada, how the Ontario courthouses or courtrooms try to use their lyrics against them, try to use music videos against them. We're going to talk about legal precedents that were set from lyrics being used, as well as legal precedent from lyrics not being able to be used as evidence. So look out for that documentary. It's going to be crazy. All right. And then if you guys have any ideas for documentaries that you want me to do stuff on, let me know in the chat. All right. Let me see what you're saying here. I thought videos is not permissible in court. Listen, I thought so too. But as we've seen with the recent bust of the 44 gang, they're saying that they're using music videos. They're showing copious amounts of cash in the music videos and stuff like that. So yeah, we definitely got to do some coverage on all of that. Okay. And I'm taking it from back in the early 2000s to 2026. All right. So this is going to be a comprehensive piece. If you guys have, again, if you have any ideas, let me know what you guys want me to do a documentary on, and I will definitely think about it. Carol says Mad Russian won't like that. You know what? I don't give a fuck what Mad Russian likes, but we'll get to Mad Russian today. Not tomorrow, today. Big salute to Fall Leafs popping up in the building right here. We are out here, man. We are out here, man. Life is good. Okay, let's get a couple of ads out, and then let's get to what we got to get to. I want to take a quick second to give a big shout out to Grabba, some of the hottest grabba in the GTA. Listen to this episode sponsor Exotic Hot Pots with great strains and merch and delivery all across the GTA. You can hit them up on their Instagram page, Exotic Hot Pot CA, or subscribe to their Telegram at Exotic Hot Pot. Let them know that you heard about them through the We Love Hip Hop podcast. Salute to the sponsors. Cheer! Shout out to Kensington Market Dispensary, located at 25 Kensington Avenue. The exclusive location for dispensary, Kong Grabba Shakers, $5 grams, and real gas, and amazing wholesale prices. They got pens, shatter, hash, loud lean, edibles, whatever you need, they have it. Hit them up on their Instagram page, Kensington_Market Dispensary, or you can find them on Snapchat, Kensington Market Dispo. Big salute to the sponsors. Cheer! Cheer! Okay. So let's get to what we got to get to, starting with, what do I got on my list? The J. Cole album. All right. I'm not going to spend super long on this J. Cole album reaction. Let me pull up some things here, because I pulled up, I started using YouTube Music last night. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to play any songs from this. All right. It's the double album, The Fall Off. I listened to it closely. I listened to it in a couple of ways. Okay. I listened to it in just as a fan. Okay. Because I do like J. Cole's music. Contrary to the rants that I've had lately on J. Cole being a snake, I am a fan of J. Cole's music. So I just listened to it as a fan first. Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10, Did you like J. Cole's album on a scale of 1 to 10? And what do you guys give it on a scale of 1 to 10? You know, I don't know if everybody's gotten a chance to listen to it. It is 24 tracks long. If you minus I guess the interludes, it's like 23, because like the intro is like just literally the only interlude I really can hear there. Let me ask you, did you like the J. Cole album? Okay. The songs that I like the most, and I'm just doing a quick poll here. If we can go through the track listing here. 2-6, they just put out a music video for today. Run a Train, I thought was going to be a whole different type of song, to be honest. But when I did take in the song, it's pretty fucking good, man. To me, this whole fall off concept and Young Money gives it a solid 8. All right, let me know what you guys think in the chat as far as on a scale of 1 to 10 on this album right here. Okay, I'll give it. Actually, I'll wait till I'll give my my ratings here. Let me go through a couple more songs. I really wish I could play some of these. I'm just going through the standouts to me. Who the F is You? I like that tune a lot. Drum and Bass, I like that tune a lot. He did mention Drake and Kendrick on Lonely at the top, but it wasn't what people were expecting. I think, myself included, was expecting him to diss Drake. He didn't diss Drake. He just said, you know, oh, my two friends are fighting because of this whole thing of getting into this, you know, trying to be at the top and blah, 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 blah. So he took the good youth approach. And low-key, I'm kind of mad at that because I like fuckery, but I ain't mad at it because he's a good youth. So what do we expect? Right? Young Money says Cole will never diss Drake. He just did. He dissed him on the friggin' the Birthday Blizzard mixtape. He sent a couple of shots at him. Sneak shots, but shots nonetheless. But I think that a lot of people who've been caught up into this whole Drake Kendrick beef, the big three, the whole conversation that's been floating around has been super caught up in blood. Basically, like what he said in the Dreamville Festival stage. Everybody's, you know, they want blood. They want blood. And yeah, we kind of do. When I listen to it from top to bottom, I will say it was a little bit too long. 24 tracks is a lot. But I also get why he's doing it. And I'm not even thinking because of streaming reasons and the amount of songs that you put on an album and all this little tricks that he do these days. This is probably going to be his last album that he's putting this much effort into. I doubt J. Cole's going to put out an album that he didn't put effort into. So you might see him, and listen, if I'm wrong, cool. You might see him in the future pop up on features, singles, you know, songs here and there, soundtrack for something, you never know. But as far as like putting the effort into a full album, especially like an album that people can sit with for a long space of time, I don't see J. Cole doing that in the future. I think he gave it his all on this. He expressed everything that he can express from his life, from the beginning to the end. The song 39 was good, but the fall off is inevitable, which was originally track 2, disc 2, when we saw the music video. That song's fucking fire. Even hearing it in sequence of the album, it even gets better because it makes more sense now when you hear it with the fall off album. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give it a solid, I'd give it a good 8.5. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we could pull up J. Cole's discographies. And then we'll get off of this topic. Like I said, I'm not going to spend super long on this shit. So let's see if I could find his albums library. J. Cole. This is the first time I'm surfing Google Music like that, so bear with me. Okay, here we go. Here's his albums. I hated this Cold World's The Sideline Story, so we ain't gonna talk about that. Wow, he updated the cover for Born Sinners. If I was gonna go in order from best albums of J. Cole to worst, I will start with the best being Forest Hill Drive. All right. Then I would go to Born Sinners. Then I would go to KOD. Yeah, then I would go to KOD. The off season would be next. And then actually, no. Let me think this out a little bit. Forest Hill Drive, number one, my favorite J. Cole album. I would put Born Sinners still as my second favorite J. Cole album, and To Fall Off as my third favorite J. Cole album. There we go. Then KOD, then The Off Season, then For Your Eyes Only, Might Delete Letter, and then last but not least, The Cold World Sideline Story, which I just fucking hated that album. It had... Actually, yeah, I hated I hated not every song on the album. He still rapped well. It's just that he just wasn't being himself. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z is in the first phase of The Fall Off. I'm just checking y'all comments here. And just, let me know before we get off of this topic, because like I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. This is just current trending. This is new. It just dropped last night or this morning at 12 a.m. So I know the hip hop world is all in a frenzy right now. I do understand what people do say sometimes when people are like, Friday Night Lights? Isn't that a mixtape though? Hold on. Do they have it here as a mixtape? I wasn't even on Cole like that back then. So I'm not even I can't even give an assessment of Friday Night Lights. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to y'all. When I first heard J. Cole, when I first heard him is on that song with Trey Songz, right? Ripperman Songs. Can't Get Enough. And I was like, who the hell is this cornball light-skinned dude trying to do the Drake coming out with his first song with freaking Trey Songz? Like, get him out of here. Get him out of here. But then when the Born Sinners album dropped, I was like, he cool. I didn't like the Virginity song. I thought that was corny. But the rest of that album I thought was dope. Right? The song with TLC, dope. There was a lot of dope songs on that album. So he kind of won me over. But I will be honest, I didn't backtrack and go back to Friday Night Lights. And maybe I'll do that tonight. Maybe I'll go listen to Friday Night Lights tonight. You know what I'm saying? But as far as an assessment on this album before we get off of this, give me in the chat 1 to 10 what you think about this new J. Cole album. I gave it a solid 8.5. I'm going to continue to listen to it and see if that number gets higher. Oh, the point that I was going to say, I forgot the point I was going to say. I do understand, though, because the music was very thoughtful. Let's call it thoughtful, right? There was a lot of thought-provoking songs. There wasn't a lot of upbeat club bangers like Drake gives you, and even Kendrick will give you at times, right? So I do understand sometimes where people can say J. Cole can be a little bit boring. All right? Excuse me for any of the super hardcore J. Cole fans. I ain't trying to offend you. And I didn't think the album was boring because I understand where he's going with it. He's a very thoughtful gentleman. But I can understand how the casual fan might listen to J. Cole and be like, it is kind of NyQuil music. Mind you, I was listening to it at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was getting kind of tired, right? And the low, non-upbeat songs were not helping, but I wouldn't call J. Cole boring, okay? But I do understand why some people might put him in the boring category, all right? So I'll leave it there. Big salute to J. Cole. Keep doing your thing. And yeah, album out right now. I'm not part of his promotion team. You know what I'm saying? It's still fuck J. Cole. You diss Drake. But let's move on. Let's move on. Let us move on. Let me see if I can find some high-grade fuckery for us. Oh! Before I get to the pièce de résistance, because I'm going to be spending a lot of time on this Toronto police bust incident, I got like 5-6 links that we need to go through and then really break this apart and unpack this whole Toronto police corruption. But before we get to that, I got this by my Opps. All right, I told you guys in the beginning of this live stream, the Opps came for me again. I don't know what I did. I'm just chilling, thinking of about $500,000. I wasn't trying to bother nobody. I didn't mention nobody's name. The last time I had an epic rant was probably about, a month or so ago when I went off on the Predator Ute there. But besides that, I've been chilling. Next thing you know, I'm on these Reddit streets, like I usually be, terminally online. And I see a post. Hold on, let me get my sound effects ready because this is going to be epic. The Mad Russian is back. The creator of the Real Toronto DVD. Toronto hip-hop legend. Okay? The man who could hang his hat on this one piece of content. This legendary piece of content, all right? I'll never take anything away from that content, even though there was mad guys who were worried for their freedom and all type of fuckery. I will never take anything away from the legendariness, if that's a word, of this piece of content here, all right? Once upon a time, we were friends. And then somewhere along the line, he stopped liking what I was saying. You keep on telling my story, brother. Why you keep on telling my story, brother? So, we ended up not being cool anymore. And that's cool. Not everybody got to be friends. He dissed me before. I accepted the diss. I responded, got more views from my response than his music video. And I thought it was over. But it's the new year, new tune. And I'm here for it, gang. I'm here for it. So let's give the man some clout. All right. He's trying to drip feed him a little bit of that clout that he's looking for. All right. Put that clout in the intravenous. And let's pull up his music video over here. The Mad Russian. Best year. It was the best year of my life, brother. It was the best year, brother. It's the best year of my life, brother. Okay. I didn't think that it was a Friday Ricky Dread diss. I was like, I didn't do nothing. We said what we said about each other, and it was like we parted ways, right? Why would I get a part 2? But here we are, part 2. Let's go.
I was a no-name with a camera, with nothing.
With nothing.
You come in right now with a no-name, a Russian guy, with nothing. You walk in the hood right now and then you say, I'm just doing this stuff, and nobody knows you. You can't look you up, how many views you have. You don't have no videos that you shot or nothing. You're just a guy that came through, you're a white guy, and nobody's really has a financial benefit of you coming in, but they still invite you in. You're not doing that shit right now, right? So it's not the same organic entrance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 20 years anniversary of the Real Toronto DVD.
Let's go.
I'll never be here again, eh? That disappeared. Yeah, but I'm back, though, you know what I'm saying?
Down.
The real ones, they're still supporting. But that's all that matters.
The real ones, they still supporting. You know what I'm saying? Big salute to all of the people that probably low-key don't fuck with me. Let's go.
To me. All the rest of you motherfuckers, you don't matter to me, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about none of you.
Let's go.
I'm known to roll with only the truth. Around me, you'll see only a few. August 11, I got back to T.O. September 11, I was back on the shore. Closer to the condos, but she was still a block. Cause he's got $1 million view while he's smoking rock. In terms of how
he's breaking it down, okay? He's breaking down his life, all right? Don't worry about Friday. We got to get to that nigga in a second.
How the year went, I'd say I was a beast. We put out 8 interviews, I put out 2 EPs. I'm Matt Downey, and we're on this.
He put out 2 EPs? Did you guys know this?
Same shit, put me on his hit song and we remix plugged in. Friday ask sticky questions, but I answer like a G. Since then, a lot of OGs been reaching out to me. Friday ask.
Slow it down. Slow it down. You know what? I'm gonna help you guys out. Let me do this. Okay, let's do this. Let's rewind it. Closed captions. Because I know it's kind of hard for you to understand. So we put the closed captions and we Gucci, brother. We're Gucci.
We put out 8 interviews, I put out 2 EPs. I'm Matt Downey, and we're on the same shit.
He did 8 interviews. Holy, that DVD, that shit is hot fire. Dial on. 8 interviews, nigga? You the man.
Shit, put me on his hit song and we remix plugged in. Friday ask sticky questions, but I answer like a G.
What else?
Since then, a lot of OGs been reaching out to me. Friday ask sticky questions, but I answer like a G. Since then, a lot of OGs been reaching out to me.
I'm trying to figure out. Since then, a lot of OGs been reaching out to me. I thought he said emojis. All right, I'm just finding this out in real time because I listened to it before I got on stream today. But you know what I'm saying? Just listen to it in my free time, driving, listening to that new hot fire. Yo, put on that new Mad Russian, son. Yo, the Mad Russian just dropped a new song, bro. Stop dissing, fam. Play that shit. So I played it, and I kept on thinking he said emojis. All right? Salutes. Cat Hair Rick is in the building. All right? I thought he said emojis. He said OGs. Since then, a lot of OGs been reaching out to me. Interesting. So you found a coalition of OGs in the city who are like, fuck that nigga Friday. All he does is bring destruction and talk about death and non-unity in our city. All right? Fuck that guy Friday. He never had me on his show. When I'm a real nigga, I'm the one who's be spitting that real shit. And listen, salute. I'm giving this guy way too much of attention on the breakdown. Salute to Downey. Let's play the video again, and we'll get to the Downey part.
Real low. These pussies said they had me, but I bet you if they could, they would take the words back gladly. Legends hit me up, telling me let's get it.
The fuck, bro? That is the most trashiest flow I've ever heard in my life, fam. You're so welcome, bro. You're welcome, bro.
They ask sticky questions, but I answer like a G. Since then, a lot of OGs been reaching out to me. On the real low, these pussies said they had me, but I bet you if they could, they would take the words back gladly.
Huh? I bet you if they would take their words back gladly. We're not talking about me no more, right? Because I ain't taking back shit, nigga. You are garbage. Holy shit, nigga. Why are you rapping, bro? Who convinced you that you was a good rapper? Just because you interviewed a bunch of rappers back in 2005, you let these old niggas that's in the music video gas you into thinking that you can rap? And then I know what niggas is going to tell me after they react to it. Oh, I ain't trying to rap to go get somewhere, bro. Come on, bro. You know I'm just doing it for a hobby. Cap. Because if a nigga gave you a record deal tomorrow, you would run with it. But guess what? You can't get a record deal, bro. I can't even understand the words you're saying. We're literally using the subtitles to understand what the fuck this guy's saying. Holy shit. Bro, and I ain't letting this nigga go. Hold on. Right here.
August in 11, I got back to TO. September in 11, I was back on the shore. Closer to the condos, but she was still a block. Cause he's got a mill. We put out 8 interviews, I put out 2 EPs. I'm Matt Downey, and we're on the same ship.
Downey. Okay, let me put y'all niggas on. I've interviewed this nigga a couple of times. Maybe once. Maybe, I think once. Why you going so hard for this nigga, bro? Huh? Why you going so hard for a nigga who's dissing me? And you're in the videos of every song that he dissed me in, and you're in one of the songs that he dissed me on. So are you low-key trying to tell me you don't fuck with me? But you keep on asking me to be on my motherfucking show? You don't think I don't see that shit, bro? Come on, B. And the thing is, I know you're going to see this. You're probably watching right now. Fix the fuck up. All right? Because you keep on acting like you fuck with me, but you keep on running with this nigga who he can't take my name out of his mouth. All right? And then you want to pull up to this show to do what? Bot the views on the goddamn interview after? I eat that thing. Yes, bot the views on the goddamn interview after.
Put me on his hit song and we remix plugged in. Try to ask sticky questions, but I answer like a G. Since then, a lot of OGs been reaching out to me. Try to ask sticky.
And listen, don't get mad later. Oh, why you do that, Friday? Oh, why you talking about me? Nigga, you keep on standing next to the nigga I'm shooting at, guess what? You gonna catch a stray.
Questions, but I answer like a G. Since then, a lot of OGs been reaching out to me. On the real low, these pussies said they had me, but I bet you if they could, they would take the words back gladly. Legends hit me up, telling me let's get it. I hit the spot like Bareface to show them what matters. I've been locked in editing, trying to be the best.
Editing what, nigga? What are you editing, bro? You made the Real Toronto DVD, then did 3 episodes, maybe 4 of your trash-ass podcast, and then you stopped. And then you keep on talking about me, bro. You know how hard I work, bro? I work every day. We put out 4, maybe 3 to 4 YouTube clips a day. Maybe about 3 to 4, 5 sometimes shorts. I do a live stream that's like 5 hours long. You don't have the authority to talk on a nigga like me, bro. You don't have the ability to work hard enough, far less more than actually work hard enough. So fuck out of here with your garbage trash-ass raps.
Trying to be the best. Fresh said, let's run these interviews. Ain't no man contest. The man behind
Who the hell wants to sit and do an interview with you that don't got gray hair? I'll wait.
the cam, you don't recognize the boy? Go watch the Real Toronto, you gonna recognize the voice. And man's forgetting me, like brother, are you dumb? I'm the first white boy to bring the camera to the slums. Ooh. The man behind the cam.
He's the first white boy to bring the cameras to the slums. Now that's a stunt. That's a stunt, my nigga. You the first white boy to bring a what? Oh, I see. Because the rap sheet DVD guys who came out with the whole going to people's hoods first, they black. So that don't count, right? I don't even have words, bro. Because the logic is so twisted and regarded that it's like, fam, you are not a pioneer of this shit, fam. Smack is technically the pioneer of this shit. All of y'all niggas is just imitating American niggas who started the whole DVD trend in the first place. So let's start with that. So when you guys be calling yourself a pioneer, you need to relax and go give the freaking props to Smack before you start bigging up your own chest. Because I think Smack would beg to differ about who the hell the pioneer is of the hood DVD. Then, if you really want to talk about who is the originator of the hood DVD after that, then we can talk about the freaking rap sheet DVD and juice DVD before we get into your 1 episode of the Real Toronto DVD, bro. Put your chest back down, fam. You need to stop bigging up your chest, all right? This whole legacy that you keep on talking about you're trying to destroy, you know what? You fucked around and started talking shit about me, and now this shit's gonna get destroyed. Pussy ass nigga.
You don't recognize the boy? Go watch the Real Toronto. You recognize the voice. And man's forgetting me. Like brother, Bring the camera.
Who cares?
As the voice, and man's forgetting me. Like, brother, are you dumb?
Man's
I'm the
forgetting me. Nigga, you only dropped one DVD. How are we supposed to remember you? You act like this like we're on Real Toronto Volume 10. You know, you kept on the legacy. You kept relationships with rappers that don't have gray hair and able to make a part 2. No, nigga. I probably could make a part 2 of the Real Toronto DVD before you can. Weird ass nigga.
This white boy to bring the camera to the slums.
That's the gas. Hear that? Hear the gas. Hear the gas. Listen to the gas. Somebody went, jeez. Right? As soon as he walked out the booth, somebody went, jeez. Yo, you did that, son. You know, massage the shoulders a little bit. Oh! Bap, 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 bap. Y'all niggas are not his real friends, bro. You're not his real friends. If the man walked out of the booth after spitting that hot garbage and y'all niggas are in the studio like, jeez, bap, 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 bap. Rad Russian, look to the left, look to the right. They're not your real friends. They're lying to you. There's no way nobody, fam, gang, 1 in the chat if you like that song. 2 in the chat if that song was hot garbage. Yo, El Micho wants to know why you look like you're sweaty. Open a window Friday. The window's open, fam. Oh. Oh, man. I got to turn the heat down in the crib, fam. Don't worry. I'm going to get to it in a second. And listen, I'm a little bit hype. I ain't going to lie. These niggas got me hype. They got me hype, bro. I saw this shit earlier. I was like, there ain't nothing going on in the Toronto hip-hop scene today. I got time today, cuz listen, let that be the week where like all these Toronto rappers are active, getting in trouble, doing stupid shit, going viral. I would have ignored the hell out of this shit. You're lucky it's a slow news week for these Toronto rappers. They ain't got shit going on in their life. Okay? Because when I saw that, I was like, nigga, I got time today, cuz. Let's just give it one more spin. Just for shits and gigs. And then we'll move on to important business.
You don't have no videos that you shot or nothing. You're just a guy. Back then, I was a no name with a camera, with nothing. You come in right now with a no name, a Russian guy with nothing. You walk in the hood right now and then you say, I'm just doing this stuff, and nobody knows you. You can't look you up how many views you have. You don't have no videos that you shot or nothing. You're just a guy that came through. You're a white guy, and nobody's really has a financial benefit of you coming in by this.
Yo, this guy, you would think that was the best thing that ever happened to like Young Grove and Jay Stacks and who else was in that shit? Friday Ricky Dread and C4 and Jet Black. That was the best thing that ever happened to y'all niggas, bro. You guys are lucky I even had a camera. You're lucky I had the foresight to go to y'all hood and talk to you niggas. All right? He probably didn't say that word, you know, not outside. But he's like, yo, you guys should thank me. You should thank me. If anybody calls you a legend, just thank Mad Russian, okay? Just send a check over to Mad Russian, all right? Anytime anybody ever calls me a legend, oh, Friday, oh, you know, you've been doing your thing for a long time. Yo, I fuck with you, fam. You a legend. I got to say, you know what, fam? Sorry. Chill. Don't call me that, bro. All praises due to the Mad Russian. Okay. Never call me a legend without mentioning the Mad Russian.
Still inviting you in. You're not doing that shit right now, right? So it's not the same organic entrance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 20 years anniversary of the real Toronto DVD.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you thought I'd never be here again, eh? That it disappeared. Yeah, but I'm back though, you know what I'm saying? The real ones, you know, they're still supporting. That's all that matters to me. All the rest of you motherfuckers, they don't matter to me, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about none of you.
I'm known to roll with only the truth. Around me, you'll see only a few. August in 11, I got back to T.O. September in 11, I was back on the shore.
Let's go.
Closer to the condos, but she was still a block. He's got $1 million view while he's smoking rock. In terms of how the year went, I'd say I was a beast. We put out 8 interviews, I put out 2 repeats. I'm Matt Downey, and we're on the same shit. Put me on his hit song and we remix plugged in. Friday ask sticky questions, but I answer like a G. Since then a lot of OGs been reaching out to me. Friday ask sticky questions, but I answer like a G. Since then a lot of OGs been reaching out to me. On the real low, these pussies that they had me, but I bet you if they could, they would take the words back gladly.
Oh my God. Oh. Okay, sorry. I won't put you guys through this again. I thought I could listen to it a second time. I just can't do it, bro. Once I hear that, like, that super bad punching, all right, for the guys who've rapped before, that's a bad punching. Like, there was so many words in the line that the engineer was like, try that again. All right, let me just punch you in. You know, maybe take out a couple of words and then try it like this. And they worked on that one line for probably like about an hour until they were just like, I give up. Just leave it as is. Just leave it as is. Fuck it. You're just trash, bro. There's no way that we can produce around this trash. So there we have it, gang. I got dissed again. Somebody asked, yo, why am I giving this bum attention? Well, here's why I'm giving this bum attention. Because I like money. Simple like that. I like money. I'm going to monetize this. What's the views, Crow? You got 111 views in about 1 day. When I clip this up later on, maybe about a couple of days from now, because it's evergreen content. You know what I'm saying? I will go collect my AdSense, maybe get a couple of thousand views. You ain't really popping like that, but at least 1,000. You're good for 1,000 views. All right? And then I will make my bread off of this shit. All right? That's the only reason I'm doing it. It's not because I like this nigga or I give a fuck about him. Because I like money. That's it. I'm being transparent with y'all. I'm really being serious. I'm not even joking. It's just because I want to make money off of doing it at the same time as clowning somebody who's trying to diss me. It's a win-win. That's why. So we'll leave that there. Salute to you. Mad Russian. Thank you much. Next. Okay, so let's get to what we came here for, what the thumbnail is about. 7 officers got arrested. Project South is going down. They said it's been a months-long investigation looking into the police corruption that's been happening over here in Toronto. I've been hearing some stories saying that some of this has stemmed from some things that were happening over in the Toronto South. There's been mentions of a crooked guard who's in this Toronto South just fucking up everybody's stay. Somebody who goes by the name of Harry Potter. So anybody out there, we're going to be getting deep into this over here. If you know, you know. Apparently this Harry Potter guy is a piece of shit. And he helped to stem this whole investigation into the corruption from the inside to the outside. It's not only Toronto Police, Toronto Police Services, the TPS. Now it's going all the way to Peel. It's going down. All right, so let's pull up some news clips. Let's dissect this. All right. To take a term from my homie Icy Springer, let's dissect this and do it proper. Because the time is here, finally, where the biggest gang in the world, with sets all over, with chapters all over different cities, have finally gotten a taste of their own medicine. And we got to really see if these people are held accountable for real by the end of this, bro. So let's get to it. Here we go. Let's bring it back to the beginning.
Home invasion was set off by members of an organized crime organization. Police were able to observe 3 individuals casing out a home over a 36-hour period. Those individuals were armed with a loaded gun. And at some point later in that period of time, they had an interaction with police. It was a violent interaction where one of their cruisers were rammed. And that set off an investigation that led police to realize that there were multiple officers working in collaboration with dozens of organized crime members. And they had essentially flipped and were funneling information as well as their efforts toward organized crime in the city. So everything from drugs to auto thefts, gambling, all kinds of things here being involved. So yeah, a really big deal here today.
And as you're speaking, David, we are seeing the images as part of this YRP investigations. These officers have been named. They are facing some.
So hold on, let me understand something here, because they said they were doing a bust, and then from that bust, they discovered that there was officers involved. Somebody's fucked up somewhere. Somebody slipped. Because this is not something that's just started happening now. This has probably been going on for years, maybe even decades. So somebody slipped along the way, or somebody snitching.
Serious charges here. What are some of these offenses and what are they accused of?
It's a long list, and kind of like I told you there, everything from, their activities relating to illegal gambling rings, car thefts, to drugs and trafficking, as well as extortion, to, sourcing illegally sourcing personal information and leaking it out to organized crime. Now, that information that was leaked out was used in a number of violent altercations, including shootings. So a direct connection here between their activities and actual violent crime happening in the city. Tim Barnhart, one of those individuals charged with something particularly serious, a conspiracy to commit murder. So a little while back in that video we showed you, the would-be victim of that home invasion is a unit commander at the Toronto South Detention Center. That particular individual would have been the victim of that home invasion. Now,
the unit commander that they're talking about is who I'm saying is the guy that they call Harry Potter. Let me do something. Unit commander. South Detention. I'm just looking something. I'll pull it up on the screen in a second here. Let's see what we can find here. Dom said they're leaking your address too Friday. Just chill, fam. Just chill. I ain't do nothing, man. Let's see who this unit commander is. Let's see if I could put in a name and see if we can get a little bit more information. What did I say, Harry Potter? Target alleged plot crackdown and contraband. Police charge and sweeping drug corruption. Hold on, let's go on Twitter. Let's see what they have over there. Because from what I heard about this guy, officers are accused of trafficking, leaking addresses to hitmen and leaking police officers' address. The sources said the investigation uncovered conspiracy to kill unit commander at the Toronto South Detention, sources said. The thing is about this guy, and the reason why I stopped the video to just try to find out a little bit more about this guy, right? And here's some of the pictures from them trying to shoot up the man's house or whatever. Because whatever this guy, from what I've heard about him, was a super asshole. All right. For the people who've been in the Toronto South, who's even might be watching this right now. Apparently, he would keep a lot of the inmates under pressure when certain things were just, when they were given certain liberties to make them a little bit more comfortable in the conditions that they are in. I know it's jail or whatever, but the food or lockdowns and different things like that, this guy would be extra vigilant on making sure shit goes down. Apparently he was crazy with the searches and the way he would like disrespect people. He was violent from what I was hearing. And I don't know how he got the nickname Harry Potter, but he got the nickname Harry Potter. All right, let me go through the comments over here. These are the police officers. Because Reddit be knowing. All right. Trust me, there's something in here. Let's do this. Let's go in AI mode and see what AI gives us. Led by the superintendent to this day. Superintendent, commander, physical. I'm trying to find a name. Okay, Lana Armstrong, Deputy Superintendent Carlos Santos, Superintendent previously listed, Gregory Cole, District Commander Superintendent. I think we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we might have our guy. Let's do this. Superintendent, oh, he might be Toronto Police. Yeah, this is a Toronto Police guy. Gregory Cole, District Commander. Yeah, I'm trying to find the guy from the South, but we'll get back to that in a second as we go a little bit deeper into the story here. But yeah, let's get back to it.
The thing that police are alleging is that if that home invasion had gone south, that murder was on the table. So the issue here is that now with that charge facing Tim Barnhart, we've got this particular individual, the unit commander there at the Toronto South Detention Center, who essentially wasn't participating with organized crime. That's an important detail here. This was somebody in detentions who was refusing to participate in organized crime, was doing their job well. Police were very clear that this was a victim and was not.
See, they said the man's doing his job well, but I think he was one of those guys who, I think he was under the guise, I'm doing my job well. I'm not trying to cut no corners or going everything by the book, but he was going a little bit too hard, doing too much.
Participating in any of those crimes, and they were targeted for that very reason. So that's what set it off, and that's what some of the charges are circling around here today.
You know, David, we've been following so many criminal incidents, violence incidents in our.
Who you want me to block? This Bamba Ross Clot 22? Isn't that the Batiman guy? Is that you, bro? Let him cook. Let him cook.
Our cities here, including those connected to the tow truck industry. And there was a question that was posed to the police chiefs about that.
Yeah, we've been hearing a lot about that, and there was some speculation leading up to this announcement that there may be an overlap with the violence we've been seeing relating to the tow industry. And the answer is
that bus looks crazy. They're on him.
Is perhaps a little bit maybe. So the thing that we've got here is a situation where there was one location where one of these incidents happened that is relevant to the towing industry. There was a tow truck present. One of the individuals facing charges is related to the tow truck industry, but at the same time, the police chiefs here saying that some of the shootings they know for a fact weren't related to that. So it appears there perhaps is a slight overlap here, but is not necessarily a hand in glove operation with some of that violence we see. Really perhaps.
This guy's just wetting up the windows, bro. Holy.
It's a slight overlap.
David, before we let you go, I want to ask you about the message that the police chiefs, including DEMQ, that they had to the public. You know, the details emerging here can impact public trust. So what's the message coming from the top cop?
The message here is that they're taking this seriously. Of course, whenever police officers, not just police officers, but a large number of them are seen effectively flipping their efforts and, going in the service of organized crime while still being on the job and supposedly policing those very segments of crime, that they're taking it seriously. Earlier today, we also did get a chance to hear from the Deputy Chief of York Regional Police, and they again spoke about that exact sort of thing, about how seriously they're taking this investigation and working collaboratively with Toronto Police to effectively clean that up. And we've got that clip for you here.
Before we get to the clip here, I just got a thought just thinking about, because we did interview a Toronto policeman or Toronto police officer maybe back in November or December last year. Big salute to Dennis Dunkley. Great guy. He seems that like he joined the force for noble reasons. Like he's trying to clean up the streets. He's trying to be somebody from our community that can communicate to other people from our community, because there's a lack of Black police officers. I don't really think there is, but Black police officers, I guess, that will understand this a little bit better. But then it starts making me think to myself, like, damn, I wonder how many times him in his short space of time, because he hasn't been a police officer for like a decade or something. I think he's only been on the force for like 3 years or so. I wonder how many times he's been approached with propositions to do corrupt things. Because from the way they're making it sound here, a lot of these police officers are involved in organized crime. And they're giving the man them the tips on where to find their ops. They're wrapped up in the tow truck game. So all of those different tow truck fires and shootings that happened at the freaking restaurant that opened on that grand opening, all that type of shit. You don't know what police officers are given intel or, anything on these types of things, helping with the firepower. Who knows, bro? Who knows how involved these officers are in this incident right here? Okay, and especially for the amount of time that it's probably been going on for. So I say that to say, when I interviewed the homie a few months ago, now I'm thinking to myself, bro, how many times have you had to say no? And can you say no? If niggas approach you and tell you, bro, look the other way, you can't say nothing right now. We're about to take a little bit of, we're about to take an extra brick out of this trunk. What's he gonna say? No, I'm going into the station and I'm telling. Nah, bro, they're off that. Or he's gonna have a hard time staying on the force without having a whole bunch of people trying to fuck his shit up. So it's kind of like get down or lay down. I'm not saying the homie's corrupt, because he seemed like a really good guy, but for the amount of shit that I'm seeing here, bro, somebody must have approached him at one point or made him do something that he didn't want to do, because this shit is fucked up.
Alleging that some police officers who were collecting personal and private information unlawfully and distributing it to members of organized crime, which ultimately resulted in serious harm in our communities. In some cases, police officers were offered bribes for this information.
Jeez.
We have identified a number of serious criminal acts that have occurred following the release of confidential information almost in real time. This includes extortion, commercial robberies, and 7 shootings right here in York Region.
And all type of fuckery.
We allege that those shootings were, in part, facilitated by the release of confidential information from Constable Barnhart to Mr. DaCosta and Mr. Satanowski.
Now, Barnhart's bail hearing is supposed to have been earlier this morning. We're going to get more details on that for you shortly. But again, this is a very serious thing, and all these arrests that happened last night. So
7 arrested. I'm sure this guy's probably on road already. Let me check something here. I have another link ready. Let's go to the press conference.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here today. On behalf of Chief McSween, Chief Demkew, and the investigative teams who led Project South, I will be providing you with an overview of a lengthy and complex investigation that began in June of 2025. Over 7 months, this investigation identified and disrupted serious criminal activity in the Greater Toronto Area that posed a grave risk to our community safety. This includes a conspiracy to commit murder shootings, extortion, robbery, drug trafficking, and firearms offenses. This investigation also has uncovered serious allegations of criminal corruption among police officers. This includes 7 police officers employed by the Toronto Police Service and 1 retired member of the
as far as the ethnicity of Harry Potter, the person over there, the guardie or whatever, the white shirt, I think he's a white guy. Listen, this is all behind the scenes stuff that I was told about this guy.
Toronto Police Service. It is alleged that these officers have demonstrated varying degrees of criminality and associations to criminal networks. The allegations of criminal corruption include bribery, obstruction of justice, drug trafficking, theft of personal property, breach of trust, and the unauthorized access and distribution of confidential information. We are alleging that some police officers who were collecting personal and private information unlawfully and distributing it to members of organized crime, which ultimately resulted in serious harm in our communities. Our investigation began in June 2025 when a conspiracy unfolded to murder a member of corrections management who was working at an Ontario correctional institution. Over a 36-hour period, a number of suspects attended this member's home in York Region, we allege for the purpose of murdering him. As you will see next, surveillance footage captures the moment that 3 men, masked and armed with a loaded handgun, returned to the officer's home and rammed a police cruiser that was in the driveway.
What?
2 cars in front of him just wandering down the middle of the road. Cars coming up behind. Those are already close. Let's take them down right now. Continue. Over the grass into a car.
What the hell am I watching here? Hold on.
Returned to the officer's home and rammed a police cruiser that was in the driveway.
That's what I'm watching?
I have not seen anyone get out the passenger side and haven't seen anyone run around the houses. I have containment in the back. Keep doing what you guys do. I've walked over some trees.
These brazen actions highlight the clear dangers that were faced by the victim.
Yo, bro, these guys are just reckless.
His family, and the police officers that were there to protect him. The 3 suspects who were arrested by police officers at the scene, as I mentioned, were in possession of a loaded handgun. And it is worth emphasizing that this was the 3rd time they had returned within 36 hours. As investigators pieced together the events leading up to this.
Oh my God. And you know what's crazy? I got the TV going on in the background over here. The same exact video that we just watched is playing on CP24 on my TV right now. Some mod ting, bro. This guardie has gotten people so pissed off. He's probably, yo. We're going to play speculation for a second. All right. Where's my sound effects? We're going to play speculation. Because this is like organized crime, right? They're saying the police are giving tips on where, they probably gave tips on where to find this guy, on where his house is. So that's probably one of the addresses that they leaked, is the guard's house or the freaking captain or commander or whatever his house. But what did this nigga do? You know how much people on range he probably stopped from being able to get work? And when I mean work, I don't mean working in the kitchen. I mean, oh shit, the package just landed. And then here comes homeboy. No, let's stop that, right? The other guardies are letting the package get to certain ranges, all right? So that mans can make their money, whether there's yayo, weed, whatever in the package, cell phones, all that shit. This guy is probably the hard ass who's, matumboing everything. Oh, what's that? Yo, we're going to have to write up this guard because he was trying to sneak in cell phones. Oh, what are you doing over there? Oh, we're going to write up this other guard because he was trying to bring coke into the jail. He's that nigga right there. This Harry Potter guy. And I'm not saying it in a way like, fuck him, yo, don't let the criminals do crime. But I also understand why these niggas had a pause, had a hard on for this guy. Like, bro, kill this nigga, bro. Especially like he's probably fucked up some real money for niggas, bro. Niggas is trying to bring in maybe 3, 4, 5 ounces of freaking yayo. And this guy's like, I'm seizing that. And we're actually gonna put it away so that it gets destroyed. We're not gonna split it up later in the lunchroom like you guys do. No, we're gonna do the right thing. And these niggas is like, even the other guardies are probably like, kill this nigga, man. Yo, every time this guy come around, he keep on fucking up the money, bro. Kill this nigga, man. Somebody gotta do something about this guy. And then they tried 3 times in 36 hours. How much do they hate this guy?
Crime, it was determined that a Toronto police officer, Constable Timothy Barnhart, had unlawfully accessed confidential information about the victim. We allege that this officer then released the information to a Mr. Brian DaCosta, and from there it was released further into other criminal networks.
Jesus.
We allege that Mr. DaCosta is a key figure.
Just passing the man's information around like a freaking hole. Like, yo, I know one chick, she's going. Yo, you want her number? Like, they just trying to kill this nigga from all angles.
In the criminal network operating within the Greater Toronto Area, with in fact significant international ties. The investigation led police to identify 3 additional suspects who were planning to cause harm to the correctional management member.
Jesus.
In fact, a Mr. Median Jackson, a Mr. Kajan Doman, and Mr. Devontae Barker Campbell ultimately had access to the confidential information that had been accessed by Constable Barnhart and were recruiting other criminal actors to carry out harm against him. These 3 individuals have been charged and arrested in connection with this investigation. Further, Mr. DaCosta and Mr. Elwin Satanowski, Mr. Daljit Singh, and Mr. Thomas Fippard, among other criminal associates, sought and obtained confidential information from various Toronto police officers, which we allege was to facilitate crime. In some cases, police officers were offered bribes for this information. We have identified
Okay, they're going to move on to other things that these guys are doing in corruption or other reasons why these guys are corrupt. But just to stay on this one officer, because this is one of the reasons why it's kind of like a domino effect. This is one of the reasons why this whole investigation started to unfold, because mans are trying to kill this one friggin' guard from the fucking from the South Detention. So crazy. They tried so many attempts on this guy's life that it opened up a whole can of worms into police corruption. So now they're like, oh, damn, you guys have been doing this and this and this and this. So here's the video from, and listen, see right there, Harry Potter. The Reddit always knows, Harry Potter, CO, alleged assassination attempt. This is one of the assassination attempts. Surveillance footage from the home of Toronto South Detention Corrections Officer shows an alleged attempt on the by an organized crime group to kill him, reportedly with assistance from Toronto Police Constable. I'm trying to see if I can find his name. Brian DaCosta is one of the guy who got arrested. Also, this Almar Heath, Keegan Domain, or Doman. Yeah, these are all just people arrested. I'm still trying to find out this guy's name. They're probably trying to protect his name. Watch this. Man, them are just creeping at this guy's house, bro. So that was just one of the ones when they just went in the daytime. That was the one that we just saw. But this one here, holy. I guess that's one when that was one when they were shooting at this guy's house. And this is the other one. These guys are on. These guys are on one, bro. Holy. Just to show you guys a little bit of like how much they wanted to murk this guy. This guy, they're just walking up to his yard.
A number of serious criminal acts that have occurred following the release of confidential information almost in real time. This includes extortion, commercial robberies, and 7 shootings right here in York Region. We allege that those shootings were, in part, facilitated by the release of confidential information from Constable Barnhart to Mr. DaCosta and Mr. Satanowski. At the scene of one of these shootings.
Hold on, let me stop this for a second. What you mean, Dom? Those guys are going to do hard time in jail. The guards will hate them. Stop this. They ain't doing no hard time, bro. You know, I could be wrong, all right? Because this is a lot. This is a lot more than what they usually find these guys for, right? Because there has been police corruption cases in the past. It's like, let's not get it twisted. But this is a lot. So you might be right. They might actually lock these guys up. A lot of these guys, there's a few guys that are like suspended without pay. Right? Oh, the homies. Yeah. My bad. I thought you were talking about the police because, you know, it's hard as hell to lock up a policeman, bro. But the guys who they gave the tips to, like, pause, like, yo, this is where you can go find the guy. Yo, you need a gun. Those guys, they all going to jail, like, immediately. The police, though, they're going to fight tooth and nail to keep them niggas out of jail. Holy shit.
Police arrested Mr. Doman, whom I mentioned earlier. He remains in custody since that time. A firearm recovered at the scene of this shooting was determined to have originated from the United States and would have been unlawfully imported into Canada at some point in the past. Through forensic identification, we allege, and police have now linked this firearm and Mr. Doman to, in fact, 8 shootings across southern Ontario.
Yo, I thought that was like a friggin' some kind of construction tool or something like that. That's the gun? How many shots are they shooting at this nigga, bro? London, Ontario, 2025, eh? Man, empty the whole clip. Oh, this video is getting demonetized. Holy, bro. Hold on. I gotta stop showing some of this shit. Holy fuck, bro. How many shots you gonna shoot, bro? Leave some bullets for the rest of us. Sorry, gang. I had to take that off of the screen. It's too much. That's right over here. Brampton, August 20. Yo, these guys just every other day, they're just like, bok. Yo, fam, I feel like I'm watching like GTA, but it's actually real surveillance footage. You know how GTA, the graphics be super dope. So like, this is just crazy. He ain't go so crazy. This is all between July. When does it stop?
In addition to shootings, in one case, information accessed by Constable Barnhart made its way to Mr. Fippard, who we allege used the information in part to conduct an extortion plot. This has previously been reported in relation to Mr. Fippard. Let me now get into more detail on how additional officers were tied to these crimes. We allege that Toronto Police Constable Elias Muad was identified in the release of confidential information to Mr. Singh and Mr. DaCosta. We allege that the information provided was in support of illicit activity. Additionally, and previously reported, retired Toronto Police Constable John Madley Sr. and now his son, Toronto Police Constable John Madley Jr., have unlawfully accessed and distributed confidential information.
Damn, son.
We allege that Mr. DaCosta was involved in a sophisticated drug trafficking operation, and we believe he was responsible for the exportation of cannabis and fentanyl, and with the network more broadly, and as we continue to investigate, the importation of cocaine and the local wholesale trafficking of cannabis, cocaine, and methamphetamine. When police officers arrested Mr. DaCosta on January the 23rd of this year, 2026, officers seized 169 pounds of cannabis and 1 pound of fentanyl, which we believe was destined outbound for a European location. The investigation also identified 4 additional Toronto police officers. Sorry, I should not say additional. 4 Toronto police officers, Constable Barnhart, Sergeant Robert Black, Constable Sergeant Betty, and Sergeant Carl Grillette. In an operation orchestrated by Mr. DaCosta, we allege that these officers in particular were involved with Mr. DaCosta in supporting illegal cannabis dispensaries by accepting bribes to provide ultimately protection from law enforcement investigation.
Jeez. Hold on. That deserves a sound effect. They fucking up the bread, bro. They're busting the cops that are helping to keep some of the illegal cannabis shops open, bro. You know how many shops probably got shut down over the space of time when this while this investigation has been happening? Not only the cannabis shops, but the shroom shops too. Those ain't legal yet. Or I don't know if they'll ever make it legal, but there was a bunch of them. There was one just around the corner from my crib that was open for a while and it's shut down now. It didn't take that long. One snowstorm, that shit shut down. They never opened again. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a lot of things moving and shaking with all of these corrupt cops getting busted because a lot of things keep moving in the city with corrupt cops being around to help things keep moving as far as like the underworld. This is a major bust.
As you have seen so far, this case uncovered significant drug trafficking activity. Investigators have determined that some of the officers we identified also participated in drug trafficking. In particular, Constable Barnhart, Sergeant Black, and Constable Betty.
Yo, this Sergeant Barnhart guy is notorious.
Are all charged with various offenses relating to the trafficking of cocaine. As the investigation continued to unfold, other criminal conduct was identified. In an incident previously reported in the media, Toronto Police Constable Mr. Derek McCormick was arrested for his participation in the theft of personal property from a police facility. We continue to actively investigate this matter and have recovered a substantial amount of property. This includes driver's licenses, health cards, passports, and other personal property. Other criminal actors outside the police service were also identified and arrested for the commercial trafficking of cocaine, methamphetamine, illicit cannabis, fentanyl, heroin, and oxycodone. And
yo, bro, you cannot trust these police, man. I'm sorry. I've been trying to see if in my older age I can develop some kind of more mature relationship when it comes to police, instead of just being one of these anti-police, fuck you guys, Nah. You're getting pulled over. You don't know how crooked or how corrupted the guy is who's pulling you over. Not to say that, you're running around with a brick in your trunk, but you just never know what the angle is of the person who's pulling you over, bro. How many of these guys are corrupted? And probably the percentage of corrupted cops in Toronto police services. I'm going to say safely 70%. I'm sorry. You know, even the homie, I know you said I interviewed one, Carol, but like, I think like 70% of them are crooked, yo. After what I'm finding out here, bro, 70% is what I'm giving them. That's a high number. There's only 30% of the force that's not in on some kind of corrupt activity, is what I believe right now in the big 2026, that about 70%, dare I say even 75% of them motherfuckers are crooked. Maybe not full, the whole 75% full organized crime, but willing to look the other way when it comes to certain things and certain people. All right.
Yet another illegal firearm was removed from the streets from a repeat offender who was already out on bail for drug trafficking. All individuals arrested and charged in relation to Project South have been provided to media in a package today. This is among the most complex and challenging investigations of my 28-year policing career. Since June 18th, 2025, more than 400 officers have played a part in this investigation. The investigators on this case include members of York Regional Police, the Toronto.
How are you going to trust the officers that are doing the investigation when so many of them are corrupt? I can't trust all of the intel. Like, who am I going to pull aside and be like, you guys are the non-corrupt ones that I can trust? You guys are going to be the one who head this investigation and try to arrest your brothers in blue. Make that make sense. I don't trust it, man. I'm sorry. I was already a skeptic, but now I'm even way more skeptical.
Toronto Police Service, the Ontario Provincial Police, and Correctional Services of Ontario. Supporting these investigators was a dedicated team of prosecutors from the Ministry of the Attorney General, the Public Prosecution Service of Canada, and also this investigation was made successful by funding from the Ontario government, Ministry of the Solicitor General, through the Criminal Intelligence Service of Ontario. The investigating officers represent the very best in what we expect of our police officers, demonstrating integrity, professionalism, ethical investigations, and a commitment to uncovering the truth and holding offenders accountable, including fellow police officers. In fact, I would say that this investigation is the hallmark of investigative excellence.
Yeah, cracked canoe. We could definitely confirm that Toronto is officially Gotham. But who's Commissioner Gordon? Nope, there's not one person who I can trust who's supposed to be the upstanding, law-abiding police officer that's supposed to be out there really chasing the criminals, working with the vigilante Batman. That person doesn't exist right now. I don't trust the police chief that they got right now, bro. I think all of these guys are corrupt.
The investigators involved held a mirror to the face of the criminal justice system and to our policing institution to uncover the truth. The interoperability of police services, corrections, and prosecutorial services is to be commended. I am confident in saying we are extremely proud of the work done by our collective teams on this case. And as you've heard from the very beginning, our investigators, and certainly Chief McSween and Chief Demkew, have committed to leaving no stone unturned. And this commitment remains ongoing. This investigation continues. And we will pursue every lead to rid our communities of organized crime and corruption within our institutions. Thank you.
We don't believe you, bro. We don't believe you, man. There's a couple more things I want to check out over here because it says 27 individuals arrested following month-long corruption probe. All right, so there's more people that got arrested outside of just the
and so let's begin with
the cops themselves. So I just wanted to check this out.
That major corruption probe leading to the arrest of 7 Toronto police officers and 1 retired officer of the members. He also spoke about the impact of all of this.
The harm goes far beyond the immediate wrongdoing. As Chief McSween said, and I will repeat, Corruption has no place in policing. It strikes at the trust people place in us. And as such, in our quest to tackle these types of allegations, we are committed to leaving no stone unturned.
Thomas,
That's the friggin' chief you right here. This is the liar here that's running our police force. This guy.
Thomas Dagwa is one of the reporters in Toronto who's following this story for us. And Thomas, what do we know about the officers?
Ian, it's been difficult to obtain the specific charge sheets from court that normally you can go and get in regards to any accused person appearing facing criminal charges. But in this case, one of our colleagues here at CBC News went to the courthouse here in downtown Toronto and was told those charge sheets are blocked from the public for the time being, which is highly unusual. But I can tell you this morning, I did attend the virtual court appearance for Toronto Police Constable Tim Barnhart, who investigators allege is central to this this conspiracy. He is accused of selling confidential information to an alleged organized crime figure identified as Brian DaCosta, someone who allegedly ships.
Hold on. You said Cam Wooley cares about us? That's a deep cut for the people, them. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. We're in there, Cam Wooley. Y'all know who Cam Wooley is?
We don't know what's going on with this Durham case, but it sounds like it was called off.
No, we need a better Cam Wooley video from when he used to do a CP24 thing.
Hey, George, I'm Highway 400 northbound. The first hits at 5 a.m., usually driving down the highway. There's a huge service center. Can't see it. Forensics team
What you know about Cam Wooley?
just rolled up on scene here.
Former police officer, CP24 correspondent.
I was copper for 30 years. A lot of times it's routine, and then everything can change just in a heartbeat. And that's the thing about this job. It's almost identical. Headquarters just said there's a shooting. Do you guys spot any shell casings over there? There's 2 over there. This is a pretty typical morning. We can go from a really serious, sad story to a bit of fun, too. What are you going to do with all the extra money?
$10? I don't know.
That's life here in Toronto. Oh, 30 seconds.
Cam Wooley would never be corrupt.
We got to go make TV.
Salute to Cam Wooley. We won't put small on Cam Wooley's name.
And so let's begin with that major corruption.
Charge sheets from court that normally you can go and get in regards to any accused person appearing facing criminal charges. But in this case, one of our colleagues here at CBC News went to the courthouse here in downtown Toronto and was told those charge sheets are blocked from the public for the time being, which is highly unusual. But I can tell you this morning, I did attend the virtual court appearance for Toronto Police Constable Tim Barnhart, who investigators allege is central to this this conspiracy. He is accused of selling confidential information to an alleged organized crime figure identified as Brian DaCosta, someone who allegedly ships fentanyl to Europe. Both these men are being held at a York Regional Police division in Newmarket, Ontario, pending bail hearings. In fact, Barnhart is believed to have a bail hearing formally anyway, in the morning. We'll see if he is released on bail. But interestingly, this
mans are on road.
Entire investigation from York Regional Police next to Toronto began with a probe specifically into a conspiracy to commit murder, a plot targeting a jail manager here in Toronto. And I was speaking with a former Ontario police watchdog who said that's unusual and perhaps unsettling. Listen.
That it wasn't Toronto that got York involved to do an investigation of Toronto officers. This happened to be York that stumbled across all kinds of misconduct by Toronto officers. It's very troubling because you've got 7 Toronto officers who are involved, and there was never a complaint within Toronto of what those officers were doing.
Tom, it's really disappointing, the difficulty in getting the information, the charge sheets, because transparency in this case is going to be so important. Talk to us about the impact this appears to be having on public confidence in the Toronto Police Service.
Yeah, that's the big question, because for the past 24 hours since news began to trickle out about several Toronto police officers accused of corruption, it has been raising questions about the public's confidence in the Toronto police. The Toronto Police Association, which represents upwards of 8,500 employees at the Toronto Police, they've pointed out that there are thousands of workers there, including officers, who go to work every day, and they hate nothing more, in their words, than corrupt cops. Toronto's Mayor Olivia Chow was asked today whether there should be a rethinking of the $1.4 billion budget attributed to Toronto Police. She said that can't be touched right now. That's been agreed to, but she did have this message. Listen.
Any police officer that is found to have committed crimes will be punished. Any officer working with organized crime deserves to be thrown in jail.
Toronto's Police Chief Myron Demkew was asked by a reporter at the news conference today whether in his meetings with the board that oversees Toronto Police, whether he has been asked to resign. He says he hasn't been asked, Ian.
Resign.
Thomas Dagler in Toronto. Thank you. There's a lot more to go through on what we learned today about the investigation and the charges. So let's bring in Tanya Fletcher and let's begin with the most serious allegation.
Yeah, Ian, this is really a lot to unpack here, but let's go back to what Thomas referenced and the targeting of this corrections manager. So this all started in June. And at the time, it was a murder conspiracy is what police are calling it. It unfolded targeting this man. And over a 36-hour period, they
still haven't named this guy's name yet. I'm like 3-4 videos in, they still haven't named this guy's name.
Suspects showed up at this man's house in an alleged attempt to murder him. They showed up 3 times in 36 hours, and police have released surveillance video capturing the moment those 3 men, masked and armed, showed up for that final and third time. They actually rammed into a police cruiser in the driveway at this moment, and we're going to show you a portion of that video. You can hear the audio of police making their move to arrest the 3 men who were in possession of an armed handgun.
Those are our vehicles. Let's take them down right now. Contain. I have not seen.
It's because they went for the 3rd time, bro. We've seen all of this. We know all of this. Those are all their charges. Let me show you guys something before we get off this topic here, because we have spent some time on here. Let's see if we could pull up our interview with the Toronto police officer. If I can spell Toronto police. Let's pull this up here. This episode, yeah. Because when I think about humanity, we did ask him about some, not corruption, but like somewhere along those lines. He's also a Christian rapper also. Let's see here. Police being physically fit, being offered, being offended by other names, staying away from Toronto rappers, life-threatening situations, major discretions of an officer. There might be something around that. The quota mystery. It's just maybe something about prejudice. Hold on. And his name is Drew Bex also. Statute of limitations. Other offer. Let me play this. Oh. At first I wasn't okay. Not sure if you were okay with the song.
Bro, was scared to run the tune.
But now we can run the tune. You know what I'm saying?
I read it. Oh.
This is in the part of the episode where we usually play on Spotify where the music is playing. So in YouTube, I had to take the sound out. So it's going to sound a little different in the audio.
I just have to say, like post George Floyd times, the PR for cops is crazy. During COVID time, but I feel like now, because a lot of people are trying to defund the police and stuff, and it didn't work. Like crime went up crazy. Everything went bad, you know. So people I feel like there's a little bit more respect for, I guess, like the need of police in the
Listen,
city.
man, defund the police to me is a joke because they were saying defund the police and send in the social workers and whatever, right? They created those like Toronto Crisis Community Services. They show up to calls, but they can't like when a person is waving around a gun or a knife.
Exactly.
What like do you want them or do you want police?
bulletin
right?
board?
Do you want them or do you want police? Right.
So how are you feeling right now?
Yeah.
That's pretty much. There's more that we got into. Let me find it. Give me a second. Staying away from Toronto rappers, craziest situation, life-threatening major. I think it's this, having discretion.
So like, how much humanity or like how much do you kind of like listen to the person in the exact situation, or is it just like strictly by the book?
Nah. So we have discretion on some things. Some things we don't have discretion.
No, exactly.
But we have discretion on some things. So like traffic stops, we often have discretion. So unless the thing you're doing is egregious, we have discretion.
If you see a gun under the seat.
Yeah, obviously, right?
Wow.
So for me personally, every call I go to, like I'm dealing with people, you know what I mean? People first.
Yeah.
So I try to hear their side of things to try to, unless it's something where I see someone like physically like, you know what I mean? And I got to jump in and just make the arrest.
Yeah.
But if it's just people arguing or it's like a traffic violation or something like that, I listen to what they're saying. You know, like I try to show humanity, right? That's me every time.
Yeah.
So,
In a multicultural city like Toronto, do you think having police officers from a visible minority helps? Like, have you ever seen that ease the situation or de-escalate the situation?
100%.
Like what? Like, can I?
So I work in 32 Division. We have like Lawrence Heights or Jungle, right? When I go down there, I can see like I can build a rapport. You know what I mean? And I can see they look at me and they're kind of like, all right, you look like us. You know what I mean? You talk like us, whatever. So it definitely helps as far as building rapport. Not to say that officers who are not Black can't do that, but I think just off the jump, I have the advantage in that regard, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, even for Friday and Natural, like, would you rather get pulled over by like a Black cop or like a white cop? Like, is it?
Big salute to the DJs are. I never noticed how much I can hear the goddamn rock band in the back, but that's a whole other story. I got one more link to show you guys because with all this corruption that's unfolding right now, we're realizing that the police, and we've said it a bunch of times, is the biggest gang in the world. The Toronto chapter is just one of the more corrupt chapters of this gang. The New York chapter of the gang is pretty crazy. They had the hip hop police, and maybe they might need to figure out a way of not being in the gang anymore. Okay, so big salute to Turk. He goes around and he does this thing on his Instagram. I think his Instagram, if I'm not mistaken, is Cop Watch, or I forgot the name of the Instagram page that he has. But salute to Turk. He's changed his life around, and now he's like, when he goes on social media, he's up in these guys' faces, asking them like tough questions. So here we go.
Always good to see you.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Yeah, the gang raid today. You have any comments on that shit?
No, buddy. It's all in the press conference. I don't even know. But yeah, it's.
If you ever consider getting yourself out the gang, just give me a shout, man. We'll get you out of there right away. Get you somewhere safe, away from these gang members, and.
You know what? I enjoy giving back, man. I enjoy interacting with members of the public.
No, we need a lot more officers like yourself, man.
I try every single day, brother. Every single day.
That's all you could do is come out and do your best, right?
That's it.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely, bro.
Well, I'm just gonna try to catch a couple of them on their phones and try not to give them the warning.
Yeah, likewise.
How you doing, sir? I'm just trying to get officers out the gang. I seen the news today. There's a lot going on. I wanted to know if any of you guys wanted to get out the gang.
Got to get out of these gangs, man.
You're gonna stay in it for now? All right, you have a good one.
You too, take care.
Yeah, man. Awareness of a brick.
Say no to gangs. She's trying to stay in the gang.
How you doing, man? I'm just trying to get officers out the gang today after the news
She ain't trying to hear this guy right now, bro. Look at the look on her face.
You want to stay in the gang? You don't want out it, right?
You want to be part of that organized crime gang? Right? Because there's two different kind of gangs going on over here. There's the gang of the blue, the boys in blue. That's a gang. But these guys who are part of the boys in blue gang, they want to join other gangs. They want to be part of the mafia, and they want to be part of freaking the Hells Angels and all these other gangs and shit like that. Like, they're doing too much, bro. Season wants to know. Yeah, that's a woman. It's a gal. She ain't trying to hear Turk right now, bro. But I don't know who to salute here. There's nobody to salute, all right? It's still FTP right now. I'm not even going to freaking lie. I was starting to warm up a little bit. Not to say that I was starting to become federal Rick or anything like that, but I was starting to soften up a little bit to that whole, oh, fuck the police, just the sight of them, you know? Oh, you got a badge and a gun? You must be corrupt. I was softening it up a little bit, but now, bro, after this whole bust, I'm back on it, bro. FTP, bro. All right? Salute to the homie Dennis Dunkley. I feel like you're a cool guy, so hopefully you're not part of this wild corruption shit, but everybody's getting looked at sideways now, bro. This shit is crazy. But we'll move on. We've spent enough time on this. Staying on the Toronto crime beat and everything that's going on over here, there was a 16-year-old that was shot and killed, actually, in a Tim Hortons not too long ago. They've been saying, and there's been more reports coming out, that he was a young man, aspiring basketball player. When I go through the Reddit, they're saying a few things that, yes, he is that, but there's been some mixed messages as far as whether he's an innocent youth, not part of gangs, different things like that. So I'll pull up the news story, and it's just more just proof that Toronto's, I know the murder rate is not as crazy as other American cities, but when shit goes down, it gets crazy. These guys shot up inside the Tim Hortons, bro. I could have been in there trying to get an ice cap.
Following developing news out of Scarborough, a teen is dead after a shooting at Bellamy and Lawrence. Right now, let's go to CP24's Sija Liu, who's live at the scene. Sija?
Liz, police are still holding the scene. We have the forensic identification team here, and they are still here after the shooting that took place at 4 p.m. We have learned that a teenage boy has died of his injuries, but they are still searching for a suspect. We don't have a description just yet. They were called to this Tim Hortons around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Our chopper cam over the scene earlier today, where we can see a person being loaded onto an ambulance. We were told that a teenage boy was sent to the hospital with serious injuries and later tonight died of his injuries. It's still not clear what exactly led to the shooting, but we do know that the Tim Hortons was open at the time. There were customers and employees inside, but fortunately, no one else was hurt besides the teen boy. Police tonight are still searching for a suspect. We did speak to some people who frequent this area along with the police officer. Take a listen.
When officers arrived on scene, they located one male victim suffering from gunshot wounds. The victim, who is a teen, was transported to hospital where he succumbed to his injuries.
And listen, RIP to that young man. Condolences to his family. All right, let's get that done off top, because he's 16 years old. No matter what he may or may not have been involved with, it's still a very young age to pass away or get murdered.
And was pronounced deceased. No other injuries were sustained by staff members or customers present. We do not have suspect information at this time. We are still in the midst of speaking with witnesses. There will be information we will not be disclosing so we can get the best witness statement.
I usually come at 2:30 over here, and then I stay till 11, because I work remote. And then today I finally decided to go to the other Tim Hortons down the street in Sudbury Mall. And then this happened today,
Damn.
So I'm speechless. I'm never coming back again over here now. I'm not coming back. I don't care. Yeah, my heart is still beating, yeah. It was a sign, literally, yeah. I come here every single day.
And a lot of people don't know when they'll be back at this Tim Hortons. You can see a police officer fingerprinting the front door right now. Police officers have been inside ever since the scene happened at 4 o'clock today. We don't see any visible damage to the Tim Hortons. There's no shattered glass or any bullet casings on the floor or evidence markers, but police have been taking tons of photos. They have the tape around the restaurant inside as well. They've also been taking photos of the security cameras outside. That will be crucial to the investigation. But right now they say they are just speaking to witnesses. So anyone with information is asked to come forward, Liz, especially because they don't have a description on the suspect just yet.
All right. Thanks for that report, CJ.
They don't? That's kind of crazy because they're inside of a place that had mad surveillance. And listen, we're not here to solve the case, but there's a lot in this right here, right? I'm going to pull up some more stuff here. This is courtesy of Real Toronto GTA. This is 16, and this is the person who passed away, 16-year-old Kian Sam, identified as the victim of Thursday's fatal shooting in Scarborough. All right. Toronto Duchess is like a baby. I hate y'all. R.I.P. You know, the comments are commenting, you know. This is the aftermath. It happened inside of the Tim Hortons, right? But as I always do, when I see these things, I go on Reddit and I see what's going on Reddit. And RIP to that young man once again. Condolences to his family. They are also saying that this might be some kind of a get back. So shooting inside Tim Hortons, Bellamy and Lawrence, ASAV get back. So I tried to do a quick search to find out who this ASAV guy is, and we'll play the video. And viewer discretion advised. There's only so much we can show. In the corner over here is like they're tending to him, so I'm going to skip forward a bit. I don't want to show too much because like they actually showed the man passed away here, but it says here, the shooting inside Tim Hortons, Bellamy and Lawrence, ASAV get back. So I was trying to figure out who this ASAV guy is. I tried to do yes, thank you. ASAV was the youth who got stabbed up. All right. Common Gang Strong, y'all be knowing. So let me pull up that story. Okay, because I did a little quick search on YouTube. Don't get me wrong, I didn't go super in depth because this is all stuff that I'm finding out today. This is the news story: teen charged with first-degree murder after fatal stabbing at McDonald's. But before we get to that, I tried to find who this ASAV kid is. And my apologies calling you a kid, but like y'all are kids. So the only things I was able to find was somebody from the UK, and then this here. But I don't think that this is him. All right. But I was trying to do my due diligence to see if I could find out who this ASAV guy is, even if he is a rapper. This guy might be a rapper by the name of ASAV. And this is a video from like a year ago. So I don't want to get the two twisted, but that's all I was been able to find as far as YouTube on this guy. All right. But then when I went and found this video, I was like, oh, this is the gentleman.
Suspect to actually go to police. So a suspect to actually go to police.
So according to the Toronto Police, the 16-year-old surrendered to a local police station here in the city on July the 7th. So that was just 48 hours after the city's 19th homicide. So it was some very good work by Toronto's homicide squad to identify and have a suspect in custody just 2 days after this very tragic event. So please tell us that on July the 5th at this location here near the McDonald's on Eastern Avenue, a 14-year-old boy was stabbed. Police were called to the scene. This young man succumbed to his injuries, and the police are actively looking for a suspect. What we heard today we're showing you his picture right now, this 14-year-old. Today, through a press release, we heard from the Toronto.
RIP to this gentleman. I'm going to continue this in a second, but like, this shit makes me sick to my stomach, bro. Like a 16-year-old who got shot inside the Tim Hortons. You got this young man who was 14 years old who got stabbed inside a McDonald's. One, the way that you guys are attempting these murders is extremely brazen, which is proof that it's not being done by, I'm not even going to say professionals, but people who have any type of rationality in their brain. So obviously it's being done by kids who are just reckless and are more willing to take these risks. They're not doing the risk assessments that maybe somebody even in their 20s would do after some experience of being on roads. You know what I'm saying? These guys are just like, they're trying to earn their stripes almost by being the more reckless they are. Holy shit, man. Because when I think about the ages, 16 and 14, like, you guys have barely got a chance to get through puberty far less more than learn how to do crime, be outside on roads and have access to a gun and control of it. Like, this is insane, bro.
Police that they now have a 16-year-old in custody. That 16-year-old surrendered on July the 7th and is now facing one count of first-degree murder. Now, first-degree murder is typically separated from second-degree murder through planning and deliberation. So if the police have some evidence to believe that this was, in fact, a planned and deliberate event, this is why you've got the first-degree murder charge laid. Now, with regards to the relationship between the deceased and the 16-year-old accused, we do not know what that relationship is at this point in time, nor do we know whether or not this was a random attack or if it was isolated. Or targeted. So this is all part of the investigation. The police are still looking for witnesses. Guys, they do believe that there were hundreds of people at this location in the area here on July the 5th. So they are certainly encouraging people still to come forward if they have information that will help with this investigation. I'll send it back to you guys.
So, like I said, and I'm going to check the polls over here before we move on to this last clip that I have about this story. I asked, is the young man innocent of street activities? 62% and 3% say no. And RIP once again to that young man. This is just all stuff that I've been finding online. And not to say that the Reddit is the end all be all and they're right, because a lot of those guys are a bunch of knucklehead idiot goofs over there on Reddit too. The Torontology Reddit specifically. Not all Reddit, but Torontology, y'all know who you are, you're goofs. But they do a lot of digging over there. There's a video that these guys have posted saying video of Kian being present at the death of A.W.O.L. Now, I don't know if this is actually him in the video.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Shit!
So the kid that just walked by, because they rewind it again, right? They're saying this is the youth. I don't know, bro, because I didn't get a good shot of his. You can't really see his face. This is graphic as hell. You can't see his face, so I don't know, man. The Reddit is they could be very speculative. Kid is literally there punching the youth while he was getting poked up. I want to hear about nothing about innocent baller no more. Show me your friends and I will show you your future. Get back has to be has no due date. Live by the knife, die by the gun. He shot and killed yesterday inside the Tim Hortons. No wonder he got left with the ice cap and Boston cream. These young niggas are wild. They don't give a fuck about cameras or witnesses. If they just went outside and did him instead of in the store, they wouldn't be in jail right now. All right. So this is just what I found on Reddit. You know, it has 25 upvotes, 18 comments. It's not the craziest. All right. And again, I will reiterate, we can't see the face clearly over there as far as in this video that I just showed you guys. But I don't know. There's just speculation that's been happening here. This is courtesy of Six Trench also, of what got reposted on the Reddit. But I will check again in the polls. And I ask, is this young man innocent of street activity? 62% is on yes, and only 30% is on no. So I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that's not the same kid. Hold on. We good over here? Yeah, maybe that's not the same kid. But I really hope it isn't, man, because this is sad, bro. You guys are just like rushing to get to your graves, man. You know what I'm saying? And not to get dark, even though this is dark shit, your parents are not ready to bury you, fam. Nobody's parents are ever ready to bury their kid. But when they're like 16, 17, parents are growing up in the hood, they can't even afford to bury you. Like, they got to borrow money probably or go into their life savings and shit to bury their youth. All right? It's not like these kids have life insurance. They haven't even lived enough life to know about life insurance. So when these kids die at 16, 14, 15, it's like, I'm not trying to deduce it to money and stuff like that, but like their parents are not even prepared to say, you know what, let me send this kid off in a good, proper way. Niggas is ending up in freaking wooden caskets and all types of shit because they just can't afford the shit. So like, take that in. Like, we got to do better, bro. We got to do better. R.I.P. to that young man. R.I.P. to the other young man who got stabbed in the McDonald's. I'm not going to say like friggin', oh, come on, guys, cut it out, whatever. Like, obviously cut it out, but like, they ain't going to listen to us, bro. You know what I'm saying? I seen somebody in the comments say I give up on him. I can't say I give up on him, but there's only so much advice. So many times I can call you guys knuckleheads, whatever. They already don't fuck with me. Some of these guys, they're like, you're Friday Ricky Fed. Why are you reporting on what the man them are doing? It's on the news, fam. Y'all need to. Anyhow, I got no more words for y'all, man. R.I.P. to that young man once again, and condolences to his family. What else do we got here? A couple more things that we got here in the news over here. A baggage handler got caught over there at the Pearson Airport. All right, it kind of looked like a episode of America's or Canada's Dumbest Criminals, but just to give you guys a quick context, a baggage handler got caught by the police that were waiting for him to do a police sting. These niggas jumped out of the freight to arrest this guy. So let me see what y'all are saying here. You're right, Friday. It's a cultural thing. They're acting out what they see and respect. Yeah, that's facts. These niggas don't even know. They don't even know the magnitude of what they do. Trust me. But this guy does. So let's play the video.
Airport next, and CTV News exclusive video of a takedown within the secure area of the airport.
The CTV's John Woodward reports a baggage handler caught in the act of moving a bag of cocaine decided to run.
A baggage handler discovered by officers hiding in a luggage cart at Pearson International Airport, and then a takedown on the target.
These guys popped out the shit like a birthday cake. Look at this. Let me go to get my shit. Go get my bag of coke in the baggage over here, and then boom.
A baggage handler discovered by officers hiding in a luggage cart at Pearson International Airport, and then a takedown on the tarmac.
It's somebody who's obviously in a state of panic. They want to hide. There's not a lot of places to hide on the apron of an airport.
Pearson's surveillance video obtained by CTV News shows the baggage handler, Nigel Welsh, starting his day like any other, passing into Pearson's secure area. According to evidence presented to Superior Court in Brampton, he unloaded luggage from this plane arriving from Jamaica in 2021, but stuck around. Security video shows him leaving the plane after everyone else is gone with a backpack. The court heard...
Holy... What did you take out of the Air Jamaica, the plane that came from Jamaica there, brethren? Damn. Say it again.
Security video shows him leaving the plane. Secure area. According to evidence presented to Superior Court in Brampton, he unloaded luggage from this plane arriving from Jamaica in 2021, but stuck around. Security video shows him leaving the plane after everyone else is gone with a backpack. The court heard a mechanic saw him and called his manager, and soon a chase was on. Other security video...
Snitchy!
Video shows Welsh and the mechanic running through the airport tunnels. Welsh drops the bag and disappears. Police and CBSA officers found cell phones, 9 bricks of cocaine, and 1 pouch of marijuana worth about
9 brickies, brother?
$1 million altogether. Officers started searching all of Terminal 3, and as they are going through luggage carts, that's where they spot him. He jumps out and runs again.
Oh, so I fucked up the story. My bad, gang. He was hiding in the baggage area after that shit. After he got caught by one of his colleagues. Damn, bro. You got 9 bricks in the bag. I would have turned around and snuffed the hell out of my colleague, bro. That's it. I quit. I'm not trying to encourage no violence or anything like that, bro, but like if you got the bag off of the plane, niggas seen you. They're like, hey, what are you doing over there? Well, Nigel, what are you doing over there? What's that extra bag you took out the plane? I gotta snuff him, fam. I'm sorry. You ain't chasing me around the airport. You seeing me on camera. You know what I'm saying? I'm just come here. Let me talk to you. Just bring him in a room, man. Put him to sleep. You know what I'm saying? You can't be doing all of that, bro. And then just leave the airport. This is woulda, coulda, shoulda. This is hindsight. I'm sure Nigel is sitting in the jail cell right now thinking, I should snuff that nigga, bro. Why'd I let this guy chase me? But like, shit, bro. I'm mad for you, fam. 9 brickies, bro? Damn.
Again, before being tackled by, well, everyone. In court, Welsh maintained he wasn't the man carrying the bag, and the only reason that he was hiding in the luggage carts was because he'd lost his airport ID. Prosecutors pointed out the phone they found with that bag had accounts with his email address. Well,
brother, why do you guys always do this, man? How do you have your phone in the same bag as the brickies, bro? Holy shit. Said Friday cardio is non-existent. How you know? I could run for a whole 40 seconds straight. But then I stop. Long 40 seconds, nigga. Woo. 6 foot to shade in the 6. Yes, 9 brickities, bro. That's crazy. You know that they probably got, listen, everybody always thinks about Jamaica when they're going to bring some ganja from Jamaica. One, and listen, salute to the Jamaicans out there in the chat. The weed shit in Jamaica from what I heard. All right. It's not like freaking some maca. You literally have to get like that good Canadian weed if you're going to be smoking good in Jamaica. So if you're going to be exporting anything from Jamaica, like it ain't the 90s no more. Like niggas ain't over here like, yo, send me some yard weed, brethren. Like, nah, bro. They've been exporting coke from Jamaica for decades. Right? Remember that they got mountains over there. They got all types of shit. Like I'm sure they got, and they're right next to South America. So I'm sure Yayo's coming up from freaking Colombia, Jamaica, and then right to over here. You know what I'm saying? Trust me.
Pointed out the phone they found with that bag had accounts with his email address. Welsh was sentenced to 9 years in prison in January. He's appealing it.
In that world of drug smuggling, if you're that person, that's what you've been paid for. You're going to take that fall.
Former Toronto detective Mark Mendelsohn says there are so many bags coming in and so much money to be made. This will happen occasionally. Last year, the Mounties charged 2 baggage handlers, and in 2019, 2 Sunwing employees were charged in a drug ring operating out of Pearson. For those who want to try it, the airport is not a place you can make a mistake.
It's high risk. We're talking about a premise here that is laden with security cameras. They're everywhere at Pearson Airport.
Cameras that caught him running and recorded him getting caught. John Woodward, CTV News.
9 years is light, bro. You'll be home in like 5-6 years. 9 years for 9 bricks. A year a brick. Did they overcharge him, gang? One in the chat if they overcharged him. 9 years for 9 bricks. They caught him running. They caught him on surveillance. So, like, all right, you guilty, bro. They caught him taking the thing off the plane. Like, you did a lot, bro. 9 bricks is a lot. It's not a little bit. Okay, 9 kilograms. Is 9 years like, oh my God, they're trying to persecute the black man. Or like that's like pinky time, bro. Like I know a man that was locked up for way more for like less bricks. You know what I'm saying? Right? Maybe less. I'm going for a paralegal soon. We will see. Well, listen. I think that he got off nicely. A kilo a year is des. I want to know. It's a brick. It's the bricks and the smuggling. Yeah, but like all of that happened, and he only still got 9 years. I'm not saying like, oh my God, like bro, freaking just hug your time. Like, obviously you're gonna have to hug your time, but like, you could have got way more, bro. They caught you doing a lot of shit. And keep in mind, there's money in there too. Or no, there was not money. It was just the bricks. 9 bricks, bro. And they caught you running. You'll be all right, bro. You'll be all right. Soft tick, Richard. All right. Don't call me though. Okay, I can't help you. I'm not gonna send you no canteen or anything like that. But salute to you though, brother. Nigel. Salute to you, Nigel. Let me see. Where am I at here? Oh, let me run a couple of ads before I forget, and then we're gonna get to a last couple of stories here. I did Counterfeit Market. Let's do this.
AInewsdaily.ca is a website that gives you AI-generated news across 1,000 plus topics, 96 global cities, and daily features. Plus, for VIP subscribers, AI-generated images, tarot readings, natal charts, investment tips, bet predictions, and drill wars, a text and image-based life simulator game set in Toronto's drill scene. One VIP subscription unlocks it all. During our We Love Hip Hop promotion, all new VIP subscribers receive a $2.50 USD wallet credit. www.ainewsdaily.ca. That's www.ainewsdaily.ca.
Salute. One more.
Ready for the road. Roll Ready Detailing, now open 7 days a week from 8 to 5 p.m. 750 Oakdale Road, Unit 66, specializing in ceramic coating perpetual with warranty, PPF, tints, wraps, vinyl wraps, and hand car washes. Remember, we clean anything on wheels.
Ready for the road.
Okay. Now, quick thing I wanted to mention before I get to my last couple of stories. I don't know if you guys noticed, I didn't really talk about a lot of Toronto rap today, man. I was just going to let it go and not say shit because I don't want to be that guy who keeps on saying, oh, Toronto rap is dead. oh, Toronto rap is dead. Ain't shit going on in Toronto rap. And then people start saying, well, aren't you the We Love Hip Hop guy? You sound like a hater. But low key, there's not really a lot going on. Okay, let's do a quick check. All right. Big salute to what's the third. I see you popping up in the chat over here. That's my brother right there. I seen you last night doing the reaction to the J. Cole album with Academics. Salute to y'all. Let me do a quick search over here. Toronto rappers. Let's go to their page. Because I'd be remiss if I don't. Oh my God, they posted the Mad Russian shit. How much did Mad Russian pay you to put this up? Niggas is putting this up for the free us. I really hope you're not putting this up for the free us. I'm not playing this shit again. Revert to the beginning of the live to hear that hot garbage. Rising artist Baby Quan World drops at the top visual. Let's see what's going on over here.
Trash. Wrap up that shit and put that in a bag. If you get technical, I cannot lag. I run my own shit, I got my own bag. I do this shit strictly for the fam. Now stop being jealous and get them bands. I'm at the top. I got the guap.
Mula first dropped some new music. We already covered that on the podcast, so salute to Mula first. Oh, 100 OTD just dropped something new, so salute to 100 OTD.
Lil' Crow just got rich and flip. Need a place to hide the proof I'm there. One shot right through his roof, we clear. Impaired driving, someone grab the wheel. Pills and codeine, I can barely hear you. 30 on me, it can get serious. You better fear me if not fear, bro.
You don't fuck with the guys and that boy gotta go. I need me a jet, baby, up me the low. Yeah, load up the free car. You don't let him pick the we come for the low.
All right, so you got something coming soon.
Focus.
I just want to check. I want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence. We covered this on the podcast. T Grams, who did a freestyle over there with DJ Czar. Because when I go through Reddit, that's where I get like the stories on the Toronto rap, not necessarily what is the music, but the stories on Toronto rap. I start to see like it starts to get sparse, bro. Let's go to Torontology. And then we'll get to our last couple of stories. But like, if I go through the Torontology Reddit, they're talking like they're posting this video again, Baby 2 and 32 times, RIP 32 times, right? Can K Money reach the same status, popularity like he did back in 2018? Is his career pretty much dead? Okay, Quasi got a new song. Oh my God, these guys are such haters. But 80 views in a day is crazy. And Quasi's nice. What is happening out here, fam? Because Quasi has a music video that has like 1 million+ views on it. And turn around now and he does. That's crazy. Maybe Czar is right as far as the interest factor. People are not as interested in the Toronto rap scene as a whole, because when I think about somebody like Quasi, and salute to Quasi, if you see this, salute to you, brother. He's not like no gangster rapper. Okay, so even like as far as people looking for alternative to the drill shit, he was the alternative. And what, y'all ain't fucking with him neither? Come on, bro. Thoughts on new BFR diss snippet? Right, the BFR artists are really dissing Bebo drill docs in a new Really? They're dissing the documentaries? Let's hear this.
In the songs, off the drugs, that's that pale talk. I be riding up and down Scarborough smoking drill dog. Plus a nigga should've stuck to dancing on TikTok. No.
Damn, they're dissing the bloggers?
Only time I be dancing is the diamonds on this wristwatch.
This is the youth here in the corner that they're dissing.
Used to be at the pot for hours till my wrist lock. 36 in the pot.
Basically, the point is not very fruitful right now. Right? RIP to this young man. We spoke about that earlier. But when you go through here, yeah, you'll see some people getting beat up and a few things like that. Toronto type shit, Northside Benji, Houdini, burner bands. This old shit. Everybody's just over here reminiscing and shit. Who's this setup thing? Just like fuckery. Flippa dropped a new song. Like, we're down bad right now, bro. I don't want to be the Mad Russian shit. Like, not Toronto, but thoughts on new J. Cole. It's just down bad right now, fam. Torontology don't even got no rap to talk about. They just still talking about like niggas from back in the day and shit. What's going on with 21 Knee and these niggas, like, not to diss these niggas, but they're talking about 2018 niggas. There's nothing going on. Right? We just covered this. Right? J8 featuring 100 OTD. Am I wrong, gang? Because I don't want to sound like that hater that's always like, oh, shit, Toronto ain't got nothing going on. Toronto ain't got nothing going on. Fam, when I go do my regular searches in the places where I find Toronto music, Toronto stories, it'll be like code names, like friggin' SP gets into beef with K5, and I'm like, who the hell are these niggas and why are we supposed to care about them? Right? What's one page that I usually find a lot of, like, the fuckery? Six Trench. Salute to Six Trench. Like, this stupid shit. Like, look at this. Look at this.
I come in here to let you guys know.
Toronto girl exposes Towns member for eating her ass. And y'all girls got to figure this shit out too. Because this whole, oh, he ate my ass and all that, and y'all could use that to get on Instagram and talk about it. Like, this is stupid.
Know that the person you're following, T-Roy, Trice J. James, literally ate my ass. Like, on my baby.
Ain't nothing to talk about on this shit. Hence why, like, they're talking about Kendrick and shit. This is why this live, and don't get it twisted, it's not going to be like this all the way through 2026. But this is why this live is more focused on all of the stuff that's happening in the Toronto crime scene, because right now, that's more interesting than the Toronto rap scene. Anybody, all these last 4 stories, ain't nobody rapped in these stories. Maybe there might be a couple of rappers that we don't know about inside of, like, the police corruption shit and whatever, but we don't give a fuck about that part. We're like, yo, what happened with these police? How much charges are they going to get? You know what I'm saying? But as far as rap, I don't know. Liho says, let's talk about American stuff already. I do that because it's We Love Hip Hop. I know sometimes people would like to call it We Love Hip Hop Toronto, but it's We Love Hip Hop, okay? Salute to all of you guys, but it's We Love Hip Hop. It's not We Love Hip Hop Toronto. So we can go anywhere with this shit. We could talk about Saskatchewan niggas. We could talk about LA niggas. We could talk about whatever, right? And I do. We talked about the J. Cole album in the beginning of the stream, and every once in a while, I'll get into my Kendrick conspiracies. I'll cover some shit in America that's happening with American rappers at least 2 times a week. But my responsibility is to the Canadian music scene, okay? And moreover, even the Toronto music scene, because I'm here in Toronto. And don't get it twisted. I know Ason Eastwood dropped some dope music lately. Raz Fresco, Six Letter, all these different guys who are the lyrical guys are dropping music. Danielson, all of that. Omega Mighty and Double M just dropped a song the other day. So all you people who are going to jump in the comments later and be like, oh, well, you know, we're dropping hot music. Supreme Swiss, all you different people who are dropping hot music, salute. But we just looked up here on the Torontology Reddit and seen Quasi drop the music video that did 80 views in a day. What the fuck's going on out here, bro? Even the most talented people are not getting the love that they should. It goes back to my argument of saying, yo, these guys, a lot of them have to end up buying the views so that it looks good. Because if you were really to see the interest level of what people care about in the scene, It's not that high, bro. Maybe I need to stop pointing it out because, again, I've told my co-host the mics are loud. And you know that what's that shit that concept that they talk about in The Secret? The power of suggestion or whatever. You know, I know words make spells and all that type of stuff. So I'll stop talking about it. I'll stop talking about the fact that the Toronto scene is on fucking life support. The rap scene, at least. R&B, Layla Day, all these different people flourishing. They're about to freaking probably get good record deals, all types of stuff. Right now, all we're doing is leaning on Casper, waiting for Top 5 to drop some music. Freaking, hopefully, like, oh, we see Pressa hanging out with this person and that person, and we're like, oh, that's great. Did you guys not notice? And I'm sorry, I'm on a rant, but hey, we over here, man. We here now. Did you guys not notice? I usually do something annually. Every year, New Year's Eve, when we're doing a live stream, and I do remember doing a live stream this year. Oh, I freaking unpinned it. That's crazy. That's how much we don't give a fuck about this shit. I unpinned it. Arms House. Right? Because I had in the top 3, I had 3 things pinned up here. And one of the things that I had pinned up here was the top 15 Toronto rappers. Thank you, Carol. Top 15 Toronto rap list. And on New Year's Eve, I would get together over here with the chat. We go through all of the rappers and figure out which ones are the top 15 in Toronto for the year, for that year only. Okay. The last one that I did was 2024 going into 2025. Usually when I drop the list, people get cheesed. They're like, Friday, why didn't I make the list? All this shit. This year, I didn't even make the list. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody was like, yo, where's your list, Friday? Why am I not on it? Because all of the people who, what am I going to do? Make the same list and just interchange a couple of names? Holy shit. Where is that list? I would never be able to find it in the amount of shit that I post on Instagram. But it was there. Okay? And now it ain't. So that just goes to show you, like, I didn't even feel like putting the list together because, like, to be honest, I don't know if I can get to 15. That's sad. That I can't think of 15, and not 15 top Toronto rappers. Obviously, there's more than that. But I'm trying to do it without reusing the same names from 2024 and maybe add some new names in there. I probably could add 100 OTD, which wasn't in the list last year. Sav was in my 2024 list. So he'll definitely be in the 2025 list that I would have made. But I just didn't have the inspiration to even want to do it because there wasn't a lot of new people and the list didn't shift around enough. I think I had Casper TNG as the number 1 back for the 2024 list. He's still number 1. So just an observation. Okay. I'm not trying to shit on the Toronto rap scene. But when I'm out here really doing this 2 episodes a week, plus a live stream, I would love to be able to give you guys a plethora of Toronto stories, what's going on with this rapper, this release, what he's doing next. Oh, this guy just went on a tour date. We talked about Sav being on the Rolling Loud flyer. So cool. Who else? One guy? And you know the other guy, I forget his name's that's on the thing too. So 2 Toronto rappers have been able to get on the Rolling Loud flyer. Not even Pressa. We fucked up right now, fam. I'm sorry. Again, I'll shut up. I'll stop talking about it because I'm a hater. You know, it's we hate hip hop now. So it is what it is. couple things I want to cover before we get out of here. Okay, let me move this off the screen. Just a quick PSA about counterfeit cash. Obviously, people have been counterfeiting in Toronto, in Canada for years. However, the counterfeits are on the rise. I'm going to show you guys a quick video, and then we're going to get to our last video that I think I want to spend a little bit more time on as far as the destruction of Eglinton West or Little Jamaica. Okay, so let's get to this video over here as far as the counterfeit. Keep your eyes open because you just never know what kind of money you might be accepting.
Just a few weeks away, restaurants just like this one, the Dim Sum King here in Chinatown, are preparing for an influx of customers, of course, to celebrate the occasion. Now, the owner of this restaurant, Kelvin, tells me that about 2 years ago, he saw a lot of counterfeit money trying to come through here, but now he has trained his staff on how to spot the counterfeit cash.
It's better to get the debit and credit is better than, than you get one and you lost a lot of profit.
Losing profit around this time of year is something Kelvin wants to avoid at all costs. He says in years past, some customers would dine in trying to pass off fake banknotes.
Well, one is $120, and after that, we take.
Oh, that one looks nice. That looks like exactly. I can't feel it because obviously I'm watching it, but that looks pretty on point.
We take care of all of my staff to take them to notice about the fake money.
Tony, the chairman of the Chinatown BIA, says businesses and restaurants he's spoken with haven't seen a lot of counterfeit money coming in so far this year, but they are expecting to see fake cash coming through as the festival approaches.
You don't want to go through every customer looking at their bills. In some way, that's not very courteous. But at the same time, some of the dollar bills are so real that it takes a little more time to figure out.
So we decided to take time to check out a counterfeit and the real deal. Let's take a look here. The difference between them.
It's a water test where you could it's water repellent. The one that the real one is water repellent. The other one, not as much.
Mm-hmm. And also the
yeah, but this one. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's do a test here. Which one is the real one? Is it number 1 or number 2? Okay, let's do it like that. Number 1, right here where I got my cursor on, or number 2? When I look at number 2, there's a little bit of discoloration, but that could be the lighting. That's what we're looking at from the camera or whatever from the sunlight. They both have the strip over here. And that's well done. This might be a little bit off-putting. Which one are you all going with? Number 1 or number 2? I'm going to think, I think this is the real one. I think this is the real one right here. Number 1.
Much.
Mm-hmm. And also the feel of the bill.
That's right. The feel and the actual thickness and how smooth it is, that's also the case.
So we have people selling things.
So you guys are not going to tell us. I eat that thing.
Things that they believe they're getting 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 or more. They get it in cash. And it's not till afterwards they realize that the money is counterfeit.
Toronto Police says they've seen a significant increase when it comes to the amount of counterfeit money they've recovered year over year. They say in all of 2025, approximately $90,000 worth of fake cash has been recovered.
That's
in
it?
the first 35 days of 2026, already $80,000 in counterfeit money has been recovered.
Oh, that's kind of crazy. The whole year, $90,000, and only in the beginning of 2026, I mean, they got a freaking 80,000. It's kind of crazy.
They come to businesses during rush hour when there's a line of anxious, impatient people, and you get up with your cash and they just hope that the cashier is in such a rush that they're not looking at it.
The quality of the cash is what makes all the difference. Some of the things to look out for includes making sure each bill has its own serial number and that the maple leaf window has tiny numbers when looked at through a small bright light.
slow down and then look at the bills. You will determine it.
These things happen at the time when you don't expect it. So be, careful and scan through mentally at least to see what the bill looks real or not.
I can't lie and say that I'm not mad at this whole cashless society thing. Like, I think that it seems like a way better idea when you see shit like this. Mind you, we still want to be able to have cash and stuff like that, but bruh, when I see stuff like this, I'm using my debit, bro. But even that shit could be kind of tricky. You know what I'm saying? Because they're stealing money right off your debit, or they're trying to clone your debit and all type of shit these days too. But if I got to choose between cash and debit, I don't want somebody to put some fake cash in my hand too. A nigga might give you some fake cash right out their cash register, not even know it. So just a PSA, keep your eyes open for the people out there. The fake bills are on the rise. All right. Last story I got over here. All right. We're not doing a 5-hour live over here today, but I do want to talk about the Eglinton West destruction. All right. The destruction of Little Jamaica. I've been seeing a lot of talk about the LRT and how finally the LRT is supposed to start. I think it's supposed to start this weekend. All right. It might be tomorrow, actually, when they're starting the LRT. And that's going to be the rapid transit that's going from one side of town all the way through the other. It's going to be going down Eglinton. I might even try it out. You might see me on the LRT just to see what it's like, see the speed and all that stuff. But they've poured billions of dollars into this LRT. They have not been able to get it fixed or get it finished for how many years now? You guys might know a little bit better than me as far as the amount of years that it's taken for them to finish this LRT. And during that time, it's just fucked the businesses up over there on Eglinton West. All of those different places that you used to be able to go to whatever time of the night, see a drum of some jerk chicken cooking outside. All them times are done. Besides the gentrification that's happening over there, the LRT has taken businesses out for good. There's a lot of businesses out there that ain't coming back because of this long time construction, right? Let me see if I can find this video. Video is titled, and this is courtesy of CTV News, Toronto's Little Jamaica neighborhood in a state of emergency.
Toronto's Little Jamaica neighborhood was at one time one of the largest Jamaican expat communities in the world. But after 15 years of construction from the delayed Eglinton LRT.
I seen one of y'all say that in the comments right there. I'm like, is that for real? 15 years? Yo, fam, this shit gets me so upset, fam. Because it's like, I feel like they're like playing in our face. Pause. 15 years, bro? You guys must think we're stupid, fam.
Residents say the culture is being squeezed out. Many businesses were forced to close. So now, with the trucks gone and the LRT set to open this weekend, our producer, Michael Hiscock, checked in with the community to learn what the future looks like.
This better not be copyright music.
There's other place like Little Jamaica within the city of Toronto. This is our home. This is our community. This is where we operate.
Jason McDonald is chair of the Little Jamaica BIA and a mainstay in the community. He opened Casual Hair Salon in 1999.
I'm a hairstylist.
Hold on, not to keep on stopping the video, but it is a reaction. Easy Factor said, I was working on Eglinton when they shut down the street parking in 2013. Yo, it's 2026, fam. Yo, we are a trash city.
You're so busy, you're so popular. People here.
Actually, let me take that back. It's going according to plan.
Yo.
Can't even record a video, man.
I just cut my own hair. And I was my first customer. Everybody always would ask me, who cut your hair? And when I would say it was me, they would say, that's not possible. Give me a haircut.
Business at the salon was going well until 2011, when construction began on the Eglinton LRT. It's a transit line that will link neighborhoods across Midtown Toronto with the subway system. In Little Jamaica, it goes underground.
When Metrolinx first started, we started to experience years of decline with our business financially. And then all of a sudden, we're met with all these big trucks, lack of visibility, lack of access, your sidewalk closed. You're directing traffic away from my business, purposely.
The Eglinton LRT was...
Hear what he said? Purposely.
It's originally set to open in 2020, but after numerous setbacks, it's been under construction for 15 years, and business owners are reaching their breaking point.
Little Jamaica is in a state of emergency. This community was a vibrant community 16 years ago.
Cheryl, the Caribbean Cuisine. Good afternoon. How can I help you?
Cheryl's Caribbean Cuisine opened nearly 10 years ago during the LRT's construction, but she still managed to make a name for herself in the community.
So first of all, Cheryl, I gotta say, it smells really, really good in here.
Thank you. So the first time my mom put me in the kitchen, about 9-10, 2 weeks after I get the restaurant, I came in open. Didn't know what to expect, I'm telling you. One-man show. I was the cook, the clean, the cashier.
Since then, Cheryl's team is...
I've been to this restaurant. So you know what? I actually went to this restaurant and I was trying to get away from police at one point. Quick story time. Hold on. Where's my story time music? Quick story time. I was driving one time. This is when I was still on roads, right? I was still on roads and I had some work in the car. I was doing heavy rentals them times. Them times I was renting those Dodge. What do you call those? Remember the name of them shits. They discontinued them. The cops used to drive them. Help me in the chat over here. The ones that the cops used to drive all the time. The Dodge, not the Caravans, like the Chargers. The Charger. I'm in the black Charger going up Oakwood. And I got probably like, just like a Cuban, nothing crazy, right? Thank you. The Charger, not the Hellcat, the Charger. All right, the Chargers was nice. Just quick reminisce for a second right here. When I used to go over to the Enterprise, and they had a Charger, instead of holding it for 2 weeks, because I used to switch my whips like every 2 weeks. I was outside, right? Instead of 2 weeks, I'd hold that Charger for like a month. Them shits drive so nice, bro. You pull up out the Charger. Whoo, panties get wet. Anyhow, I'm driving up Oakwood, trying to get to Eglinton so that I can jump on the highway and then get the hell out of Dodge, right? I already made my chop, still have a little bit of work in the car. I'm moving up. I'm moving on up. This is New Year's Eve. Sorry, Christmas Eve, my bad. Christmas Eve. Driving up. And I see the boy then behind me. And there's about 4 cars of length behind between me and the cops. Next thing you know, I'm looking in my rear view and they're doing this. Like they're working to get around the other cars to be directly behind me. So now I'm like, oh, shit. So boom, I hit Eglinton now. I hit the corner. I'm at the lights by Eglinton and Oakwood. Hit the corner and turn on Eglinton, and they're right behind me. I jump out the car. Like I just park and jump out the car like as if I didn't see them behind me. Like, hey, what's going on behind there? And I walked into this restaurant. Right? Ordered a black cake. Remember, it's this Christmas time, right? So I ordered a rum cake, black cake, whatever y'all want to call it. And see, and then I'm looking out the window, and I can see the cops driving by the freaking restaurant slowly, looking in like, nigga, you so lucky. What a pull your ass over, you black bastard. So yeah, just a little sidetrack story that happened to me in this restaurant right here.
It's grown, but she worries about the community's future.
I'm not sure which direction we're even going in. We're just being up to.
Thank you, mommy.
Let's take, we just wait and see, because to the lot of store that when I just came here, we're here, that, you know, Jamaican home, it's not anymore. We literally been squeezing out. We want to hold on to the culture.
In 2020, the City of Toronto adopted 2 motions to develop supports for struggling businesses in Little Jamaica. In the 6 years since, the members of the community we spoke to say they haven't seen either.
Metrolink said they gave money to Little Jamaica, but what about the property owners and business owner? We still had to go through this and pay our bills. No one compensate us. My memory of Little Jamaica and why we invested is because of the vibrancy, the multiculturalism.
See this right here that they just showed? This was in my documentary.
Little Jamaica and why we invested.
Monica's Cosmetic Supplies Limited. You see right now, this is daytime. Things closed down, fam. Monica and her husband, George Lewis, were responsible for recording the first rap song ever made in Canada in the basement of this place right over here. So it has historical value. Besides being a beauty supply store, there was a studio down there that was cranking out reggae hits or dance hall hits for people, as well as creating the first Canadian rap song. Holy shit. All of this shit. Mosh up, bro.
Is because of the vibrancy, the multiculturalism. You know, you come into this area, you can get food, you can get your hair nicely cut, you can get clothes, you name it, we have it. And now all that has been destroyed.
Diana Lalore owns a property on Eglinton that once housed both a business as well as tenants.
Since the LRT started.
Yo, who remembers CJ's? Who remembers CJ's on Eglinton West? Right? CJ's used to go in there. It was a small store. I think he was an Ethiopian man, if I'm not mistaken. He could have been a Somali man, right? My bad if I'm making a mistake over here. But he used to sell the fitteds. Holy. That's like, you got to know. If you know, you know. Because it wasn't one of the big stores on Eglinton. I think it was right by Eglinton and Dufferin, right? Go get yourself a fitted before the club, bro. A real not no fake shit. CJ's got it, bro. All of the bedazzled friggin' Blue Jays and all that shit, you got to go over there, fam.
We have all negative impacts. From the vibration, it damaged the property. It caused me to lose tenants, vacant space, no income. So it puts you into a different bracket. I'm a registered nurse. I work like 7 to 7, 12-hour shifts. I'm also a clinical supervisor, teacher. I teach nursing students. I'm juggling different hats. I never asked for handout. I'm a hard-working woman, and I'm not asking for handouts. I'm just asking for what's right.
We reached out to Metrolinx, the firm responsible for the LRT's construction, to relay the concerns from the community. In a statement, it pointed to $1.38 million it provided to 5 Eglinton area BIAs, adding the LRT will bring thousands of people into community.
You guys are pissing me off, bro. You guys gave them $1.5 million. I know $1.5 million sounds like that's a lot of money. Like, yeah, you give that to one person who's just chilling in the crib, living the 9-to-5 life or whatever. It is a lot of money. It's a relative amount of money. To a business owner, that ain't shit. Especially the amount of money that they've probably spent or they probably have to pay off in debts that they were accumulating because of the loss of business. And that's not 1.5 for one business, for 5 BIAs. And then they're like, don't worry about it. The LRT is going to bring thousands of people into the area. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. 15 years later, you guys are trying to kill this community, bro, on purpose.
Is across Midtown, providing significant benefits to local businesses.
There's a big war going on outside there. The damage that has been done, it's going to take generations for this to come back to what it used to be. So that's why when people ask me, what do we want? It's not what do we want, it's what are we owed.
And we have producer Michael Hiscock in studio with us now. Boy, Mike, the pictures and the people really tell this story. It's one thing to say that there were construction delays, but it's another thing when you see how blocked off that street was. And for anybody who's ever been to Little Jamaica, was some of the best eating in the city. People on the street would talk to each other, and everything you could see was just barred off and shut down. So what?
A major part of that area, the Little Jamaica, Eglinton West area, is the walk around aspect. If you can't walk around, then the businesses will die. There's one thing if you can't walk around for 1, 2, maybe even 5 years. When you're talking about 15 years, fam, you got businesses that were open 15 years prior to that are like, how do you expect us to survive, bro? You just expect us to just keep open for 15 years and just hope that, we'll be able to make our money back when the foot traffic comes back? That's not happening, bro.
Did they share with you about their hopes that their businesses could reopen once this all is wrapped up?
Yeah, the business owners I spoke to view the LRT as a bit of a double-edged sword. So on the one hand, they're optimistic that when it opens, it's going to bring new customers and business. On the other hand, the presence of this new transit line has made properties in Little Jamaica a lot more attractive to developers. So what we've seen play out is that as small business owners have been squeezed out over the construction period, developers have swooped in to buy up what was left behind. And
Boy, that'll really change the texture of that neighborhood.
Yeah, and so we're running into this situation where there was a stat at Toronto Metropolitan University that
Starbucks loading
found the number of units in Little Jamaica that are owned by corporate landlords more than tripled over the course of the LRT's construction. So sure, you might see some more customers and new business, but the cost of doing business is also rising and the competitive landscape is shifting pretty dramatically.
Well, especially because they're on a transit line, right? It makes it much more valuable. What are the business owners hoping to see once that LRT is up and running?
Yo, Carol, for real. From the start of Drake's career, they started building the LRT, bro. That's crazy. They started building the LRT when this guy had Best I Ever Had out on the streets, fam. Holy shit. That's crazy. These niggas is putting up the LRT while mans were singing friggin' Forever I Ever. It may not mean nothing to y'all. Like, damn, fam. That's a long time ago these niggas started building this shit.
This weekend.
They're looking for direct compensation. So I reached out to the City of Toronto as well, alongside Metrolinx, and the supports that they provided to BIAs across Eglinton up until this point have been focused on things like marketing, streetscaping, luring festivals to the communities for a weekend or two. But for the business owners who've had to scrape by or go into debt as a result of this construction, they're looking for something that's going to make them whole again. So in the case of Diana, who you saw in the piece there, when she showed me her property, it once had a restaurant in the main floor and then a residential unit above. And when you go there now, it's boarded up. There's newspapers on the windows. She told me she was ashamed to show it to me in that state. And this was a building that she was relying on, not just to provide income for herself, but something that she could pass on to her children once they got older.
It's making my skin crawl.
And so you can really hear in her voice when she speaks that she's at the end of her rope. And I think she's very symbolic of how people, not just in Little Jamaica, but across a lot of Eglinton are feeling right now.
It'll be interesting to see people come back to that neighborhood. And boy, I sure hope they get a sense of...
You know that ain't happening there, shorty. Your fine ass knowing that shit ain't happening. Wiz wants to know, what's my thoughts on the new highway underneath the 401? I don't know, bro. Hopefully that'll help to bring down some of the freaking traffic congestion. But like this right here, they're trying to make it seem like, don't worry, be patient. Once the LRT's built, you are going to make all of your money back. Eglinton West will be a flourishing area once again. All of you Jamaicans and other black peoples and stuff will be able to do your black stuff again. That's a whole lie. You heard what they said about the developers and stuff like that, and how these guys are like, oh, this might be nice for a condo development. I'm already seeing stuff getting built over there. They're trying to erase Little Jamaica. Let's be real. They're not trying to preserve Little Jamaica or give it a facelift and give it an upgrade. They're trying to make it where there is no more Little Jamaica. It's just going to be Eglinton West. You're driving down there. You go pick up your Starbucks. You might be able to go to a friggin' I don't know, a flower shop or something that's owned by some white lady or some Asian lady or something like that. All you black people, just go do some crime or something, or do something else. But you can't have this area where like you guys can like all like communicate and chill and shit like that. And it's not even like Eglinton West is some bod area. You know what I'm saying? I know they have the ECWs, the Eglinton West, or the EWC, the Eglinton West Crips. But that whole freaking team was taken down. They had the Vaughn and Oakwood Bloods that were like right down the road from freaking Eglinton West. That shit is pretty much done. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, there's still members, but as far as like the tensions and stuff like that, for the most part, that area ain't like that no more. You know what I'm saying? So now when you think about it, they could have a cool neighborhood where everybody has businesses, black-owned businesses, and everybody can flourish. But nah, bro, not after 15 years of holding out, waiting for the full potential of the customers to come back through the door. Like I said earlier, that can last for like 5 years tops. But 15 years, they're trying to cut your air off, bro. They're trying to make sure that your business can't flourish. You're not going to even be able, listen, I don't want to sound like a pessimist, but you're not going to be able to recover once that's the LRT's built and it's going through the neighborhood. Okay? They're still going to be worrying about their debts and stuff like that. And then guess what? When one of the developers come through and say, oh, you're in debt? Oh, you know, you're about 100,000 in debt and we can help you out with that. I'll clear off the debt and I'll pay for your business. I'll buy that from you. Come on, let's go. What would you rather? Would you rather struggle? And then they're going to go. My predictions is this, and it's not even a super long time. In the next 5, maybe 10, you're not going to see Little Jamaica and Eglinton West anymore. All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be the one to have to break it to y'all. This is just my prediction. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'm super happy being wrong, especially with this right here. But within the next 5 to 10 years, there will be no more Little Jamaica, no more jerk chicken drums, no more getting your hair done and all that. Go somewhere else for that shit. Okay. But it ain't going to be no in friggin' Eglinton West no more. I'm sorry. Just my prediction. Anywho, sorry to end you guys off on a somber note. It's reality. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna pull no punches over here. Salute to everybody who's in the chat over here. Comment gang strong. I think I'm going to wrap it up for the day here. Let me see what y'all are saying in the chat. Big salute to Jules who just popped in. I'm sorry. I ended on a somber point right there. Like, damn. No more Eglinton West. Y'all got to support it. You know what I'm saying? Go over there and show some support. Go buy some, Randy's just reopened over there, Randy's Patties. Go buy some patties. Go support one of the hairdressers over there because right now, times are hard, yo. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. Look out for a new episode of the podcast dropping on Monday morning as usual, 3 a.m. for all of the audio listeners. 6 p.m. we'll be back over here on YouTube, episode 656. I will be doing the recording of my documentary tomorrow, so I'll be loading it to the member section in the next 72 hours or so. I'm not going to go crazy with the edit. So for all the members out there, keep membering. If you all want to become a member, and you'll get to see early content over there. And yeah, until then, we off of this. Doses.